What's good, people? This is the Rap Roundtable. Your boy Jarvis, Cinsere the Rap Snob, Deme the Balance, the homie Mace. We just want to make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, comment, help us get our numbers up. We're trying to get 2,000 subs, 5,000. Y'all know how this go. If y'all think we're good and y'all love the content, some of y'all always say, yo, how come y'all don't have more views? It's because y'all don't sub. So make sure y'all do that and tap in with us. Peace.
The Rap Roundtable.
Yes, sir. Episode 49 of the Rap Roundtable is here. The long-awaited, the eagerly anticipated, the much-talked-about New York Bias 2. And I'm going to tell you right now, this table is all New York. If you're from out of town, you're going to be real upset after this episode. This is a New York all-star pod. You hear me? Get familiar.
Rockwell.
To my left, Cinsere the Rap Snob.
Snobbing, what up, what up?
Alongside Deme the Balance.
May the force be with you.
Alongside the homie Mace.
That's me, gang.
And with two very, very special guests, we have returning friend of the show, Deme D.
What's good, what's good?
What's good, Deme?
He's everywhere, you're never there. And now we have someone we talked about on the pod, Cinsere the Rap Snob's doppelganger, the black snob, the snobbiest nigga I know. More than Sid, we be arguing about rap. You hear me? But this guy's been around, he's seen some shit, he's been connected to some shit, and he has some things to say. The homie Rockwell, welcome to the Rap Roundtable.
Yes, glad to be here.
Welcome, brother.
Big applause to you guys.
Thank you.
You can find the Rap Roundtable on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, as well as Cash App. And real quick before we start, we got some merch for y'all. We got these snap hats, snapbacks, these dad hats.
Truckers. Sir.
Hit us direct, tap in with us if you want to cop. Support the Rap Roundtable brand as we continue to elevate.
Mighty comfortable, by the way.
And as always,
we are tonight's entertainment.
Yes, sir.
Real quick, Truckers is coming back strong.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
they are.
Yeah.
You know the vibe.
Comfortability is essential.
Talk about it.
Hey.
So, fellas, before we get into the New York of it all, there was a project that dropped recently.
Oh, was there?
From arguably, depending on who you talk to, the #1 rapper in the world. I disqualified him recently. He's not in a rap discussion based on my opinion of him as of right now.
Just yours?
Just mine. I don't know if you guys agree. I think you guys agreed. I don't know if Mace is the only outlier. I don't know if he disqualified.
Dede was a little upset.
I'm the wild card.
Dede was a little taken aback by art.
At the beginning when I first heard it, bro, I was quite upset. I think I was the first one to throw something in the chat.
Right.
Really, really upset, bro. Like,
I mean about the disqualification of Drake.
When Jarv mentioned it, I was like, A1. Great disqualification.
Wow, they agreed.
From a hip-hop album.
Surprise. But honestly, Nevermind dropped. We've had debates. We've had debates.
Yeah.
Deme, you've been kind of quiet on Twitter about this album. But the general consensus is that if you haven't traveled, you haven't gone anywhere, you can't talk about this album. The Drake fans are in unison that don't talk about this shit if your passport don't have a certain amount of stamps. If you didn't go spelunking in fucking where did I say it was? Iceland.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? If you're not getting Molly in Ibiza, apparently.
Spelunk life.
You know what I'm saying? If you're not doing these things, this album is not for you. I know Cinsere. I know you got some takes. I'm coming your way first. Not first, but I want to hear from Mace first before I get to you, because let's see if there's some bail at this table before we continue.
I appreciate it, y'all.
Let's talk to me. OVO Mace in the building.
Formerly OVO Mace. Formerly OVO Mace until we come back. Now listen, y'all. I can't even lie. I wanted to come in here. I wanted to like shake up the show off rip. I wanted to pull a little flip flop Mace. You know, that's Sin's favorite version. You know what I mean? Like, so I wanted to come in and just throw y'all for a loop. Like, you know, yeah, I actually like the album. Yeah, actually, but no, this shit is still terrible, bro. And as a Drake fan,
bro.
It's been
crazy,
very hard to see fellow Drake fans use the Eminem argument. Everybody loves it. So what do you mean? Who cares if you think it's trash? You don't know shit. Listen, that's what they trying to say, Sin. So I wanted to come in and shake up the energy a little bit, but I still feel exactly the same way about this trash album. As far as disqualifying him from top rapper competitions or year-end lists, I thought to myself, at least for this year, he didn't put out a rap album. No,
He did not.
he didn't. You know
Not
what I
yet.
mean? So
Not yet.
we're not
He
the
says
type
it's
to be
coming.
putting the futures up and the harmonizers. So why would we put a house artist on our top rapper
Whoa.
mix? You know what I
To
mean?
me.
So
Wow.
it just,
Wow,
I don't
bro.
have any
That's
different
crazy,
thoughts
bro.
about this. It's still formally OVO Mace. Hopefully, I could become a zombie and revive one day. But listen, man, I wanted to come in because I know we about to go in on this album. I wanted to come in and just kind of
So no bail for
beat
Mace.
divisive, not even a little bit of bail.
Damn it, man.
All right,
Go
Ron.
see a bondsman, bro.
Ron, we talked about it. We disagreed. Go ahead. I know you got your bail out for Aubrey. Yeah, just make it happen, Ron.
Wait.
I liked it.
What?
I like half
Wow,
of it
bro.
because after like
That's
9, I was
crazy,
like, all right,
bro.
this is terrible. I will say that. But
Yo, that's really alternate universe me.
I'm trying to tell you.
I hated the whole first half of it.
Yeah.
And then around somewhere in between, I was like, halfway through, I was like, all right, I could kind of see where these songs are going. But the first half was just, I couldn't.
oh, you didn't like the first half?
I didn't like the first half.
Same.
You say you
Oh,
liked the
shit.
first half.
Yeah, the second half was
That's-
terrible.
That's fucking wild.
That's
bro.
so-
Anyway, continue. I'm
So my
sorry.
thing is like, when you born in the crib, you clean in the crib and shit. Not to sound corny, but you play house music, you play mule music. You know what I'm saying? So to me, this Drake album it's like listening to like a Black Coffee playlist who happens to be on the album producing. So it wasn't terrible to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't terrible. That's a pretty low bar for enjoying music.
Move forward.
I mean, possibly that's where we are in 2022. But like,
But
to
house
go
music-
into something and being like, well, I didn't hate it, so I'm gonna play it. Like that's not what I want to do.
House music, a lot of house music I don't want to sound crazy, but a lot of house music is kind of forgettable. So like you play it and it's like, and it's like
house music.
it's like you in the gym, you working out and you play shit. Like it's cool, but it's not something that you're gonna go, I need that record. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like it was on par with normal house music.
Okay.
You know, like I
Okay.
said, if you playing like Black Coffee, you playing some K-Tronada joints,
Right.
it was a cool joint. Like I think it was the joint with like the squeaks on it. I was like, nigga, gonna fuck this record up.
That's actually
The
a tough
record,
joint.
You know
I
what I'm
can't even
saying?
lie,
Like
yeah.
Massive with the
I think everybody likes Massive.
Yeah, Massive.
Massive is the one that made me pay attention.
Yeah, I'm like,
It
yo,
was like
this is
track
a
8.
dope record. You know what I'm saying? Cause I mean, I make beats also, so it's like I could see the creativity of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but again, I ain't gonna front. After number 9 or whatever, I was like, ugh, come on, B, this is bad.
All right.
Type in, Sam.
We're not going to Deme?
I'm gonna save a Demi for last.
Okay, you saved Deme for last. Copy. All right. So, I mean, there's nothing much more that I want to say that I haven't already said. Number one, I do want to point out, and I'm pointing this out to my roundtable brethren, Jav, Mace, Dini, right? Our two guests are out of it.
Boy. You about to be on some bullshit.
Listen, no, because like I remember when the when the Kendrick album came out, we was calling it like a major flop, and I kind of want to address this because the
That's
Drake
what
numbers,
we doing?
because the Drake numbers are in, and it's far below what Kendrick sold. So
This is a terrible comparison.
So hold up, no,
Y'all
we got to keep the same energy.
No,
For a house album to a resurging hip hop
No, hold
album.
on. Let him finish.
We
I
don't?
got
Let
this
him cook.
nigga.
We don't?
We don't. But proceed though.
How do we not have to have the same energy?
Like, this is a guy that
But this is
disappeared.
Drake. It's Drake. Never mind the content of the
Understood.
album.
Are we
Because
allowed-
hold on.
Okay.
The content of the album, both of these artists have diverted into like vastly diverging lanes.
Right.
They're both going in completely opposite directions. And it's alienating a lot of the fans that are like in the middle lane, right?
This guy.
So if they're both alienating a lot of the standard hip hop fan base, why can't we compare these
I have
two
one
projects
question.
in terms of sales?
Is Kendrick Lamar album a hip hop album?
Yes.
That's why.
But some people will say it's not. I've heard a lot of people say that
It's
not.
a hip hop
I
album.
haven't
a lot of
heard
people
one
say that.
person
Come
say
on,
that.
bro.
Sid. Not a hip hop
I've heard-
album?
I've heard that.
y'all
I've
watch
heard that
him,
argument.
chat, y'all watch all our shit. We never said that the album was a general flop or a colossal flop. We said the album is a flop for Kendrick Lamar specifically based on previous performance.
Cool.
All of that matters. You're not gonna slander
and
us
off a 5-year hiatus.
Off a 5-year hiatus.
So
we said all of
does
that.
So this Drake album isn't a flop? We're not gonna have that same energy? We're not gonna call it a
How
flop?
are we
Hip
gonna-
hop
how
flop.
are we gonna-
It's a flop.
Did Drake have a 5-year hiatus? Based
No,
on the parameters we set, does he have a 5-year hiatus? No. Did he make a rap album?
That's even worse.
No.
His last album was 9 months ago and sold like 700,000 albums.
Drake made some
700,000
music
units.
that nobody wanted from him. Everybody wanted Kendrick.
But
It's not
That's a
the
great
same.
point.
But the same argument was held for
No,
Kendrick.
it's not, bro.
That he made music that nobody wanted to hear. That's what y'all was saying. Is it not?
But it's a rap album, though, bro.
This is the thing.
Oh, God.
If
All right.
Kendrick would have made a house
Kendrick
album,
needs an apology from y'all.
No, we don't. Like, you're reaching, bro. OD.
Like if he dropped
Hold on.
Scorpion,
Yo,
we would have had all the
Deme,
rights.
Sin has an agenda
We're not
today.
gonna let Sin torpedo this table 20 minutes in. Deme, what are your thoughts on the reaction to the Drake album? People, the what are we calling it? The travel shaming, like the travel shaming that's going on the internet and all that. What you got? Did you hear the album? Because I know you might not waste your time listening to that shit.
Yes, that's the thing. I did not waste my complete time.
I
I only
respect
heard
that.
some of it. But yeah, that shit is so corny with that. Like, you gotta go to Dubai to understand this album.
Fam.
You gotta
catch up.
You gotta date
fuck
Paris
are you
models,
talking
son. It's like everything this guy does is put to such high esteem, like it's so groundbreaking.
Right.
I'm like, yo, the album, from what I heard, is not whack. It's not dope though. And I'm tired of him being put in the greatest rapper category and he's not rapping. And he's not delivering hip hop or rap music.
At all.
But he
I
been
don't
like
have
that
to
from
say-
its inception, though. He kind of always was.
But that's
Fluid.
that's always
true,
been
but
my
it was
problem.
primarily hip hop, though.
He
He was
was-
rapping, bro.
He's been straying away
He's
more.
been straying
and more,
away
you
more.
know?
We've got
But
dancehall
that's the only
Drake,
thing my
you know?
problem is, like,
Dancehall
dude is
Drake,
talented,
Afro
but
Drake.
it's the Missy Elliott, Lauryn Hill, CeeLo Green argument. It's
Okay.
like
Kanye even.
Kanye, Wyclef. It's like, and even Clef rap more than him, kind of. It's like, but you know, I respect the dude's talent, but he is not the best rapper.
Listen.
Album is aight.
Let me get back on to Mikey because you motherfuckers kicked me off right quick.
Threw you off.
We had to, bro.
Nah, it's a fair argument. Y'all trying to
Well, we're
dodge around it.
going
But
back
no,
there.
we're not going back. We're not going back. But what I did want to say about Drake, and I was holding this take for the table, and I'm gonna see what y'all want to. I want to see what y'all have to say about it. Because some time ago, this was like maybe 2 years ago. We were talking about. Actually, that's kind of how the Rap Roundtable started. That we was talking about who is what in terms of
Gray area
rap
shit.
to the NBA, right? Who's Michael Jordan,
We said
who's
Drake
LeBron,
was
who's Kobe,
player.
who's you know what I mean? We was making these comparisons, and we said a long time ago that Drake is probably the closest to LeBron.
Yeah.
And I think we have to change that. I think at this point, Drake is the Russell Westbrook.
Ooh.
Whoa.
That's a hot
Russ.
take
I
right
can't,
there.
I can't say that, though.
Can I jump in on
jump-
that?
Hold on.
Yo.
Oh, you got-
real
there's
quick.
more.
Listen
Okay.
real quick. Now I'm not a huge sports head, but I know enough to know that Russell Westbrook's game is a game for highlights and padding stats.
Oh.
Man.
That's what I hear from y'all, right?
Russell Chasebrook.
Exactly. And that's how I feel about Drake and his music and his approach to making music.
He's a chart chaser.
Is that he doesn't care about winning the chip. He doesn't care about the long game. He doesn't care about playing the game for the sake of
Winning at the highest level.
winning at the highest level. The only thing that he really cares about is in the moment getting the stats that he wants and needs to say that he is who he says he is.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
This is where I might get in some trouble, you know. I think LeBron James is that right now. I think LeBron at this point in his career, especially Lakers LeBron, he came to Hollywood to win a chip, maybe, but to make movies, become a music mogul, become a media mogul, become a politician, do everything except win, but do just enough that it looks like you're trying to win on the basketball court. And I think Drake is doing the same shit. He's doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Oh, yeah, I don't like this dance album, but guess what? Scary Hours 3 is coming out. What LeBron do in the offseason? I go and I fake workout.
There you go.
I mouth some rap lyrics. So it looks like I'm invested, but we still gonna go 33 and 49 again. I'm a Laker fan saying this. I got free smoke for that nigga. You know what I'm saying? So when you say Russell Westbrook, maybe it's an amalgamation of both of them. Because to me, right now, LeBron, what he does is hollow. I've said empty calories about Westbrook for a cool 10 years now.
Facts.
I'm not sold on anything he does.
But to be fair,
what's up?
Is that not everyone right now?
In
not Kendrick
in music or nah?
Outside of like
not Kendrick, not Cole,
outside of like Pusha, Cole. I feel like everyone is just flashing the pan.
Well, yeah,
you know.
Right.
So Drake might be, and I'm not no hate, no shade. I feel like Drake might be the king of the flash niggas. You know what I'm saying? The king of the flash pan niggas. You know what I'm saying? Whereas
I mean, I have no problem giving him that title, but like we consistently put him in the same conversations with Cole and Kendrick. And right now, I just don't see that comparison.
Maybe he is playing the long game. Maybe it's the in the sense of LeBron, where LeBron's just doing a bunch of shit now that don't really amount to winning, but it's stat padding, most free throws ever taken in the playoffs. Maybe that's what he's doing. Maybe at the end of the career, I dropped the dancehall album, I dropped the dance album, I dropped the R&B album. They all sold, and a great chunk of people liked them all. Maybe that's the long game.
But it's just for the sake of saying that you did it, not to say that you did it well or at the highest level.
I think
that's my problem.
At this point, what Drake is doing, it's closer to Sin's point about Cole and Kendrick. He playing a Taylor Swift game. He playing a Beyonce game. Maybe he's trying to remove himself from that rap.
He's gone from that. I mean? He's Justin Bieber and these niggas, man. So I keep trying to tell people he's not rap, and that's fine.
So he's out of that box.
He gotta stop saying he's the best. He gotta stop, and his fans gotta stop.
Especially with the assisted pen.
Aubrey, I want you to know that 2 weeks ago, I'd have been battling all these niggas trying to say that they was wrong, but you don't deserve it, bro.
But honestly, never mind.
Come on, even the last album, the last album wasn't all of that, and then the one before that wasn't all of that.
To the Beyonce point, like Beyonce dropped the house record like 2 days later, and that
was better.
Knocks. I've been listening to that shit. That the way that kick and that 808 right underneath is knocking all through the song.
It don't feel forced.
That shit is.
And this is where I'd like to bring this segment to a close, because we got to talk about this New York shit. That's been my argument the whole time. It's not about why he made the music, who he's trying to reach, how much stamps on your passport for you clowns who think that matters in this discussion. It is about the quality of the music. I've seen so many people on the internet, because again, as much as y'all don't believe us, I found a nigga on Facebook who talked crazy about us. I said, nigga, here, we find everything we talk about on the internet, okay? And it's about people saying it's great vibe music. So essentially what you're saying to me is Drake made background music. And if you're the number one act in the world, arguably the number one pop act in the world, you should not be making background music. Your music should matter more. The beats on this album, again, we talked about it. It's great. He has a great ear for beats, for this shit. And it's not like we don't have dance records from Drake. There's a history, a litany of dance records.
Good records too.
With better vocals. I think if Drake himself sounded better on these beats, I wouldn't hate it as much. But it's really him that I have the problem with this album, because the vocals are poor to me.
Trash.
The 808s are too much. Then you try to pretend to be Sade. It's like it's really fucking bad. And it's like, I'm not a music snob like these fellas, but when it's bad, I get really upset. Like, I hate bad music. I hate especially bad rap. Bad rap makes me mad. A nigga trying to sing who can't sing makes me even more upset. And I just felt like Drake is like, I saw the vision. I get it. But it's not good. Again, his album was out for almost 24 hours before it got a favorite. That's unheard of for a Drake album.
And I told you my theory, right?
Wow.
What's that?
My theory that in the industry, there was probably rumblings of either A, Beyonce dropping, or B, the fact that, because, these decisions happen behind closed doors. They're like, this summer's going to be a house summer. And let's, have every artist make house music, right? And so knowing that Beyonce was about to drop this house record, which is infinitely better than any of the records on his album, that he was just like, yo, let me just get this out there as fast as
So he could be
possible,
first.
ASAP, so he could be first and take credit for starting the trend.
And it's funny to me that, you know what I mean? Shit, I had a bar for this nigga. Oh, I remember now. It was, people are attacking us for saying that the album is bad. But notice that when you say the Beyonce song was good, they say nothing.
Right.
They don't even push
right.
back. That's a problem for me. Because you'll kill me for saying the album was bad, but when I say the Beyonce song was better, I'm tapped into that genre, you fade away. You don't want that to be.
They don't even want that.
You're too busy standing for Aubrey. But I digress. We gotta the show is timed.
And what I see, let's work.
In the reaction to Honestly Nevermind, we had Irv Gotti make a comment that hip-hop needs another DMX because adjacently he's trying to say that Drake is making, and the powers that be behind Drake are making hip-hop soft and or sweet. I'm making an inference here. I'm sorry for putting words in your mouth, Irv, but if you're saying DMX is needed to respond to Drake, we know what you're saying.
Right.
So, Deme, I'm going to come to you first. Do you feel that because of what Drake is doing musically, sonically, that there needs to be a DMX level response to what Drake is doing?
Absolutely. I don't know if it has to be like X. I see what Irv is saying. We had it though. It was Meek Mills. I don't know what happened. He's just not that guy no more. But that's what Meek was. It was Drake, and then we had Meek.
What do you think about the people that feel like they're hear what Irv is saying and they say like, what you trying to say, Irv? Like they you saying music is sweet? You saying I'm sweet for like a house music? Like what do you say to that?
He's absolutely right, man. Drake is soft as cotton. A lot of these dudes that's putting out music, their music is weak. It's just not. It's not.
Can I reply to that now?
I'm just saying the music just ain't.
I'm
hitting.
of the age where I remember where there was a crazy balance in hip hop. You had De La Soul, fucking Latifah had house records. You had the Jungle Brothers, Our House Shoe, that was mega.
Heavy D.
How Now That We Found Love was a house record.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful.
You know what I'm saying?
Grooves
So
in the
it's
heart.
like hip hop was never.
Didn't he catch flack as well?
It didn't make a difference because it was banging.
I'm just saying,
Not
everyone
really.
act like this
Not
shit
really.
is new and it's only Drake getting it. Heavy caught mad flack for that as well.
Not really.
Yes, he did. That's why Heavy don't get. Heavy D is one of the nicest rappers from that time, right?
Successful. I don't see
Deme, give me a
nice.
silent
See,
before
look,
you continue. Just move your mic closer a little bit.
A lot. You see how you said you doubted it? Heavy is nice. The reason why he gets slighted because he was what Drake and LL was. But Heavy is nice, nicer than a lot of people praise.
But them party records, you think pushed them back?
Pushed them back. Niggas will sit up here and say J. Rue the Damage is the illest nigga ever. Heavy D will smash that nigga.
Niggas love J. Rue.
Niggas love J. Rue. Niggas love J. Rue.
I've had battles with
Heavy will
Heavy
smash
is one of
that
the most underrated
nigga.
niggas
Mad-
ever.
But I'm just
But-
saying he caught flack though.
but
So I'm not.
Primo had a lot to do
but-
with that.
but
Let's
the thing-
not.
but the
Let's
thing
keep it a
is-
whole buck.
Facts.
Damn it, man.
Primo
Niggas
had
ain't
a lot
copping
to
them
do
Air
with
J.
J.
Rules,
Rule.
though.
Listen,
Primo saved a lot of careers.
What you saying to that, Ron? I see y'all about to start cooking over here.
No, I'm just saying that there was diversity in hip hop, and like you had fucking only niggas who they said was really soft was PM Dawn back in the days, and that was like a unanimous thing.
Nah, they play. They
You
try
know
to
what
play
I'm
my
saying?
niggas Kid and Play. Like they
Yeah,
try to
but-
play a
but my
lot of
thing is,
niggas.
hip hop always been diverse.
No, I agree with you
had,
there. Yeah.
You had the Killers, and you had the school niggas,
Yeah.
Right.
and they all rocking the same joint.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So, Irv, I think he's kind of bugging right now. What the hip hop is needs to be.
There's no
needs to be-
balance though.
But
Where's
here's
the
thing.
balance?
I
You
feel
don't
like-
think so?
I feel like they
Where's
need to
the
keep that
balance?
same energy.
Balance.
With all the drill?
In the mainstream.
Yeah, I was about to go there. I feel like they need to keep that same energy with the whack drill niggas who don't know what a pocket is. You know what I'm saying? Like
And
this
get rid of
one
them bad samples.
There's no
Wow,
everything
bro.
is glock.
That's
I'm like
crazy, bro.
it's terrible. It's bad music.
Yeah.
But there's energy for that. You know
It's
what
a
I'm
lot
saying?
of people
There's a
complain
lot
about
of
that
energy
shit all the
behind
time.
drill, man.
People complain
As
about
a
it.
person that
No, when I say energy, I mean
You
as far as it
complain
being
about it.
terrible.
Yeah.
okay,
You know what I'm
got
saying?
you.
I feel like you'll keep the same energy for the bad music, the bad trap music. There's so much bad. Like Spot 'em got 'em. It was it rocked because of the youth, but it was a bad.
It was a really
bad record.
When I downloaded it on my Apple Music and I listened to it, I'm like, yo, this song is really bad.
the
I
mix
deleted
was
that
bad.
shit. Oh my
The 808s
God.
was
It's catchy.
clashing. It's catchy. You know, so we in a bad space in hip hop. So if Irv, he needs to keep that shit funky for everyone. If you're gonna do that to Drake, do it to every fucking body.
You don't think Pop Smoke kind of like fed into that? I know he sang a lot on the records, but you don't think he kind of was like
Nah.
that balance a little bit?
Pop And I'm not a drill head like that, but Pop was musical.
Pop music was good.
Pop
You talked
was
about that here.
musical.
Pop musicality. He had a gift for that. You know what I mean?
I mean, in the
he's a
sense of like
forefather.
where we needed someone to bring the grind back. I thought granted, like I said, he did a lot of pop
I think
S
his
joints in the
music was
end,
great.
but his drink was real street, real down to the bottom too.
I mean, but
Like,
Pop is
exactly.
not
He
here
was in the
anymore.
mainstream.
I
You
know.
know what I'm saying? So to Irv's point, there's no Pop. So who's gonna be that? You know what I mean? Sin, you was about to get in.
Yeah.
So what do y'all think about Fivio?
He missed it. Fabio missed his window.
Can't stay in jail, man.
When Pop passed away, I think I said it here. I was like, Fabio got to get it now.
Right.
New York is wide open, and you was right next to Pop. And then for some reason it got quiet on his end. You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
He kind of lit now, but there was a time working in high schools when Big Drip. I didn't know who 504 was, but I'd be walking through the hallway and they would be blasting this song, and I was like, "Oh, this is fire." Then
Summer 2019.
Then I
bro.
saw the video and I said there was something about, no disrespect to the Bronx drills, there was something about Brooklyn drill that reminded me of old New York, like the energy, the videos, the style, the swag. It was a lot of things brought together that made that shit hit. When I seen the Big Drip video, I was like, "Ooh, I like this 5-year-old guy." Then Pop Smoke came out, and I was like, I fronted at first, and I said, "Oh, this nigga's fire too." And then they collect them when the Sweetheart record came together. Niggas our age was posted on the social. Sweetheart, you heard what 5-year-old said? I'm like, "Oh, we got it, we back." Then Pop passed away, and I thought, "All right, 5-year is you now," and he didn't do anything. You know, so it's like
Too much pressure on him, man.
some niggas don't operate well under
Right.
pressure. But I keep cutting Sin off. Go ahead, bro.
Nah, what I was gonna say is I'm kind of on the fence about this, because on the one hand, I wouldn't mind a new DMX, but also like I do need to address what our guest was saying, that like it can't be grimy for the sake of just being grimy. You know what I mean? Like DMX was grimy, but there was an aura about him. Like there was this persona, this energy that he had. Like, you know what I mean? Like he'd be grimy, but also praying. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the drill shit is just like, you know, just grimy, and like no flip side to it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I wouldn't mind a new DMX, but like, who's gonna bring it to us? Like, is it like, because I think Irv was saying I need to go find a new DMX, and I'm like, because Irv he say shit just to be saying
Shock
shit.
values.
You know what I mean? He just be spitting out like all types of rhetoric all the time. So like, I'm thinking like, all right, first of all, if we get a new DMX, right, or an artist like DMX, how is he gonna perform in the landscape of music today? Like, is he gonna fit in, right? And let's say for the sake of argument, he does fit in. So who's gonna bring him to us? If it's gonna be Irv, who's gonna pay attention to the artists that Irv is bringing us in 2022? You know what I mean?
Wow.
And that's no shot at Irv, but
That's
it's like
crazy,
he's trying to like solve a 2022 problem with a 98 mentality.
96 issue.
You know what I mean? And that's just not gonna work. So,
All right, check this out, y'all.
Okay.
I love DMX.
Legend.
I appreciate Irv Gotti championing X, keeping his name alive, one of the GOATs. But what the fuck does he actually mean here? Is he talking about the street aspect, about how rap was so fluffy and DMX came out? Because rap is more street than ever. This nigga's dying every week.
Nigga.
It's like, to me, hip-hop is more street than it used to be, because now the niggas who was extorting the rappers in the 90s are on the records. You know what I mean? So I like, okay, does he mean that? I don't think so. That doesn't make any sense. You know, y'all can stop me because I actually wasn't around for this era. I'm the youngest at this table, y'all know, so maybe I'm bugging. But I'm just saying, so are we talking about a shift in the game? Jarv has been talking about for going on 2 years that the lyricism has been the shift in the game. We have the Griseldas. We have that energy to the, so the shift has been happening. I think Irv is actually backwards, because to me, this Drake album is the shift back to the soul shit. It's away from the op music. It's away from this shit like that. So to me, Irv Gotti kind of doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about here. He might have forgot more about hip hop than I know, guys. But I'm just saying, I don't really understand what he even fucking means with this.
Like, I thought he meant kind of in the sense of like this the dirty nigga that just don't give a fuck. You get what I'm saying?
Plenty
like,
of those in the Bronx drill, bro.
I mean like
Pooh Shiesty, Julio
but
Fulio.
these the niggas that's gonna go shopping and spend like $10 million on clothes.
That's what I'm saying. Are we talking about lyricism then?
Nah, he's talking about the mainstream.
He's talking about like somebody in the mainstream space.
These drill niggas don't nobody know them except these kids that's in that entrenched in it.
And that's one of my biggest problems.
Lil Durk is the biggest artist in
But Durk ain't
right now.
Yeah, and Durk is past
music,
that.
but the singing ain't X.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So that's what I'm saying. Like the street energy of X is already here. If he's talking about the lyrical aspect of X, I can argue that wasn't DMX's biggest thing when he came out.
Here's my thing.
I was DMX top 5 when he dropped.
What's that?
When he
top 5 lyricist when he came out.
Nah, we're not talking about
so that's what
I'm
just trying to see what he means.
Right.
DMX
like
was nice though. DMX was
to your point though, and I was just having this conversation with my boy Al.
Al, leave them hats alone. Leave the day parties alone.
Leave my man's alone, man.
Al,
You love it.
we've been
You
doing
love
this
it.
podcast 3 years. You ain't come to this fucking table yet, and you be having a lot to say. I'm on your head until you get to this table,
We'll have him
Al.
on for the Tupac episode.
Oh,
Pull up,
Al, I'm on your side,
Yo.
bro.
Yes, sir. But now I was having this convo with him because it's like Deme said, a lot of these drill cats, we don't know who they are. They're not operating in the mainstream space. Right. So like if Irv is like singling Drake out, that's a certain space that he's talking about in general, right? These drill cats, we don't know them until they fucking die.
Facts.
And that's fucking sad to say.
Or get locked up.
But like I was talking with my man Al, and it's like you see the headlines, and it's like rapper kill, and it's like we don't even know who this is. They're not a rapper. They're not even seen as a rapper in the mainstream space until they die, until they see that headline. You know what I mean?
Man,
so, it's a different space.
Here's what I'll say. I'm kind of in line with Mace as far as Irv, but I'll take it a step further by saying I believe that Irv Gotti's out of touch because there's no room for a DMX in this particular space because the gatekeepers, whoever they are, won't allow that kind of sound. Look how hard Griselda had to work just to get here.
Facts.
And when they drop these records, outside of the people who love that sound, nobody's rushing their music like that. It's hard for that sound to break through in today's climate.
That's what I think he mean more like a Meek Mill. I don't think he mean like X in the 90s. He mean like,
but then it's like
Meek Mill, like Rick Ross, like dudes who weren't just making
street
I
niggas.
want to drink your bathwater music. Like,
Right, but for the sake of argument, Deme, we just heard Meek's last album. Championships and what Meek's last album was sonically two different. Meek wanted to do the fucking Dirk shit, the no baby
that's what I'm
shit.
saying. We need a. That's what I'm saying. That's probably why he's not that
But
guy no more.
Championships had the records. Nobody wanted that from Meek, bro.
That's what I'm saying. That's probably why he ain't that guy no more.
But I think there's an effect of the polarization of like all these different lanes and subgenres. It's like, like for better or worse, Drake is a fucking anomaly because he bounces back and forth between everything. But like for the most part, most artists is like, you know what I mean? Like me can try to be that street energy rapper that operates in the mainstream, but at a certain point, he's gonna want to dibble and dabble in a different lane, and then his core fan base is gonna be like, "Yo, what the fuck is he doing?" And it has something to do with like how the audience is going to receive it, but it also has a lot to do with how well they operate and how well they do in that space.
Here's the thing, and this is gonna upset. This is a New York Bias episode,
Hey.
but I think that the person that Irv Gotti is talking about exists already. It's Kodak.
Hey.
It's Kodak
Hey.
Black. I'm sorry, Ron. I'm sorry. But what I'm saying is, as far as
Hello, Kodak.
Where's the what the fuck?
All right, hold on,
Because
let me-
you're thinking of the lyricism. That's the first thing that
what
y'all
I'm
hearing.
saying. The lyricism, we're never gonna get that from Kodak. But as far as the realest of real niggas go, street niggas,
Dirty niggas.
from his neighborhood, respected, sat, came back home, still has records, and he don't make poppy records. He don't make snap music. He makes street music. It's Kodak. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Man.
Also,
we need air freshener in here.
I'm sorry.
God damn.
Also, to double down, the person that he's looking for is probably gonna be a drill artist because they the ones who are the most air quote street music, and it's gonna be a drill artist who's actually good at rap.
But I'm about to say, ain't that money bag yo and shit like that? Ain't that already like money bag yo?
Your bag is there too.
I like money.
But to me, as far as
ESTG, like ain't those guys already?
But the guy who's the most known of that bunch, if it's not Kodak, maybe 21.
No, it's definitely Kodak. Is 21 as good as them two though? I don't think they like great.
I'm talking about notoriety, not the music.
And I think we
He's
going too far in on the lyricism. In DMX's era, the lyricism was pitched higher. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, you're looking at DMX like, oh, he's nicer than all these niggas now.
That should be the nicest nigga out right now.
Right, but was he nicer than Jay-Z when he dropped lyrically? Was he nicer than Nas? Was he nicer than Big Pun? Was he even nicer than Cannabis?
He hung with all of them though. He got songs with Cam.
You have to remember that battle, that infamous battle with Cam and DMX. And they said they don't know who won.
They on mad tracks together, and X ain't never get smoked.
Also, I feel there's a tinge of New York bias. And what Irv was saying there, he's not looking to find Kodak or 21 Savage or ESTG from another region.
New York.
Shout out ESTG, that little burger who be crying in our comments. You don't listen to ESTG. Shut the fuck up.
We talked about ESTG on the
specifically
show.
Talked about ESTG.
I think Irv was saying now we need that New York energy back.
So Sin, now that you say that, I got a question for the table.
Okay.
We all here are New York rap fans. We know people from out of town. When we start talking about rap, they call us biased, or they use the phrase New York bias. Hence the name of the title, the title of this episode. My question to y'all is it New York bias or anti-New York energy? Ron, I'm coming to you first.
I think it's New York bias.
Talk to me, fam.
New York is some bougie niggas.
That's right. You goddamn right.
This is the essence of it. So we have my fault. So we set the standard. I don't think out of town niggas in 2022 give a fuck about what New York think.
I agree.
Ooh, that's a bar.
I don't think they care.
How does that make you feel?
I don't care.
Okay.
Because them niggas is.
That New York bias
creeping out. Yeah.
No sentiment on this table.
Them dudes, I don't know. It's this is the essence of it. So we have this ball. Everyone else is still kind of. I'm not gonna say
catching up.
Catching up.
Outside of LA. Let's say it.
Outside of maybe LA, I like the LA scene.
Same.
You know what I'm saying? They make good music.
LA was good.
Right.
You know, but everyone else is still like on some Too Short. I don't know. No shots at them, but it's just.
Primitive. Dr. Seuss bars.
Kind of
rudimentary rap.
Yeah. You know. Yeah. So I definitely think it's New York bias more so than the New York hate.
Deme,
you know?
New York bias or anti-NYC energy?
Listen,
bro.
I was here before about this shit. I'm sticking to the same point. That shit is a bunch of bullshit.
Talk about it.
Ain't no bias. First of all, niggas be acting like right now, right? Ain't no dudes that got a top 10 that's all New York artists. You probably, and this is no shot because I'm an older guy myself, but you're probably like 45 or older if your whole list is 10 New York niggas.
Yeah.
Ain't that, it's probably 3 niggas walking around that got a whole list of 10 New York artists.
Facts.
So let's cut that. You talk to these niggas from other places and they'll tell you quick how they don't fuck with New York artists. So what's the problem? I don't understand.
I will say this though. New York people need to kind of step up on the music tip though.
I don't agree with that either. I said that on the last one. We have an abundance of music that's not supported.
I feel like New York niggas is chasing what out of town niggas is doing.
Nah, we stopped supporting, man. Like I said before, we always had bodega bands. We had Smoke Dizza, Mickey Fax, J.R. Ryder. We had Lloyd Banks. We had niggas doing shit and niggas was ignoring it. We had Fred the Godson.
You're a content creator in this space and you deal with a lot of East Coast artists. In your comment section, do you get pushback from people who be like, why don't you talk to this person from this region or that region?
As far as not really, because on Twitter I already established that I fuck with a lot of people, even though niggas know I'm New Yorked out. But it's already established. I fuck with everybody. Like a lot of my favorites is not from New York, and my favorites are from New York.
I like that answer. Deme. New York bias, anti-NYC.
I think it's New York bias, man. It started here. We laid
a lot of politicians at this table tonight, y'all.
The OGs laid the groundwork. You know what I'm saying? It materialized here. The culture was built here. It's we hold it to a different standard than a lot of people. You know, I don't want to do like my homie Storm did and did the I don't want to go that route.
Why you bringing that back up? They already killed the last episode.
Yeah, let's leave that.
That's
alone.
my guy. I don't want to go that route, but a lot of people see kind of like Southern rappers in that light. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna hear a letter. What's the the
Hey,
I mean, what's not music?
I was rocking with that
To be
shit.
fair.
I'm talking about when people look at
It's still a
hip hop,
Yeah.
in the sense of like, where you're gonna get the real shit from. New York City is the first, and I would say LA will be a second. But a lot, especially when it comes to the South. No offense to the South, but a lot of people look at them as kind of like cartoon rap, kind of like what the Baby does. It's considered like prime, and that's prime South rap right now. And you hear the kind of beats that shit is on.
The Baby.
Who are their spitters?
Wait,
You got my nigga Zuck.
Cole is a Southern nigga.
You got
actually,
Cole,
though.
you got Sci-Hi, and who are the other spitters though?
But here's the thing, and we said it
You got Killer Mike and shit.
to Demi's point before I pass it back to Deme. All of the spitters from the South, matter of fact, I'm looking in the camera. All of the spitters from every region have a New York cadence, and it makes y'all sick. Go ahead, Deme.
Like Kendrick, Game, even the people that we love from in LA, they kind of give a New York-esque kind of vibe. Like Game is his best when he's rapping like fake Nas.
Because we're the standard.
We set the bar.
You know what's funny? I've always said that NWA was copying PE. I've always said that. I've always said that.
Wow.
Always said
Game
that.
changer.
That's crazy,
I've always said that early Dre shit was copying Bomb Squad. Listen to early NWA, all the chaotic shit going on.
It's true. Now that he says it, and I'm hearing it in my head.
The alarms and shit going on.
Look at Cuba and where he worked with.
I've always said that since I was a kid.
Shout to my boy Hank
They
Shockley.
were the blueprint. Who did they have to copy? You know what I'm saying?
True.
But go ahead, Deme. I know you were making a point there.
Nah, I pretty much pass it off there. I don't think it is a bias, but it's not a bias. I think the bias from anywhere, like Gumbo from New Orleans, there's gonna be a bias, my dude.
That was New York shit too.
You know,
that was a New York thing.
Gumbo from New York?
Skinny Boys. That was a new. Those niggas was from the Bronx or some shit. That ass serious.
you see that? Shout out to the BX. You know how we do here. But
Drag rap, right? That was the basis of bounce music. All that shit was straight 808s and Jazzy J and Rick Rubin shit.
Talking your shit.
You know what I'm saying? That was New York shit.
and here we stand with New York bias.
Yeah, New York bias.
This is definitely
niggas had
New
to
York
copy us
bias,
to get
y'all.
good.
That's crazy.
This is why
I
these
thought that
gentlemen
was
are
a
here
their
tonight.
thing.
Facts.
It's an us thing.
Listen, it's definitely New York bias. Y'all hear my bros up here. Like
The sequel better than the original.
It's
Shitting me?
It's definitely New York bias. I mean, we arrogant. That's the way we are. It's New York bias to the point that, and I was gonna say it even before Jarv mentioned it. We usually only like rappers from other regions that sound like us. It's clear we're biased, bro. Like I'm not gonna sit up here in front. Deme being political. I'ma just keep it a buck. It's New York. It's definitely New York bias. I mean, to the point that we used to have the West Coast used to be a bunch of states, South used to be a bunch of states. When they said the East Coast, we were just talking about ourselves.
Yeah,
we were not talking about Jersey. We weren't talking about Philly.
That's not
We were
true.
talking about
Because
ourselves.
Even
by
Cole
nature-
gives you
It
New
took
York
them a while to
vibes.
get that kind of love, though.
Nah, I don't know, man.
We was talking about
Naughty
You got
ourselves.
Seagull, you got Beanie and all
I
that
love
shit.
Sin, but I
jump.
never heard him say Tretch ever, bro.
Never.
Like,
That's
we
true.
talking about
That's a goddamn that is a goddamn lie.
Not even Vinny.
I've never heard it.
I
I'ma
brought him
check.
into the group chat, like, why don't we talk about Tretch
I don't
more?
remember that.
Oh,
That was before I was
bullshit.
on the show, y'all. So I'm
Red
just
Man.
saying,
Horse shit.
we clearly biased, bro. I mean,
No,
I don't have a problem with it, but we clearly
I got my energy
biased.
back. I got my goddamn energy back.
Yeah, I'm gonna hear
I'm
this.
taking my vitamins like Hulk Hogan. Fuck out of here, B.
Don't rip your shirt off,
What?
though.
Nah, what the fuck? What is a New York bias? Who's not biased?
fuck are you talking
Them other niggas is
Who's
definitely
not biased
biased.
to their region? Who is not?
That's a fact.
Who's not biased? I feel
Nobody.
like
Everybody's biased to their region, bro. We can't be biased to New
we're
York.
biased. Yeah, we are
Why not?
biased because
Apparently
New
not.
York.
Why the fuck not?
New York is biased down to our boroughs, down to our blocks,
you
down
go.
to our apartment buildings, bro. Like we are biased. That's just a trait of us.
We have had content. We have had videos up.
Do you
on
know any
YouTube.
towns in Atlanta?
I don't.
But we know at 5 boroughs though, because we all like
right,
make sure you know
here.
exactly.
Right.
I listen to all
New
that
York,
shit.
New York is the capital of the world, fam. They gotta know.
We've had videos out, right, where we're talking favorably about the artists that we like. Primarily, let's say Griselda. It's probably Griselda, right? They're not from New York City, but they're from the state, and they have that same aesthetic and energy, right?
That 90s New York.
Right, exactly. So naturally, we're gonna gravitate to them. But so we're speaking favorably of them, not saying anything about any artist from any other region. We're not saying anything negative about nobody from the South, nobody from LA, nobody from Canada, nobody from fucking Mexico. Nowhere. We're just focusing on Griselda and what we love about Griselda. Here come comments out of nowhere talking about, yo, why don't you show the South the same love? Why y'all talking so much? Why y'all love Griselda so much, but then don't talk about like an ESTG?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, and then they'll come and say, yo, the New York fell off a long time ago. The South is on top. And that's the shit that gets me. It's like, all right, let's say the South is on top. Let's say Atlanta's on top. Why would you not be happy and content in the fact that Atlanta and the South is on top and leave us alone? Why y'all gotta come in our comments and talk to us about putting more shine on the place that's already on top?
On the brightest areas.
No,
They're biased.
Make it make sense.
Because
Make it make sense.
And this is Sin, you threw me your alley. You didn't even know it. And this is why I'll be the only one at the table to say it. It's anti-New York energy.
Anti-New York.
It's not New York bias. Because the minute we say anything positive about a rapper from the tri-state area, oh, you from New York, so obviously you like this nigga. It's like, nah, the nigga's good.
Right.
I don't give a fuck where he's from. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll listen to some bullshit from the South. Like,
All the time. We love shit like that.
Not to say that it's bullshit, but when Future was the king of the world, to this day, Future gets blasted my whip.
Heavy.
When Huncho Jack came together for their collab album, me and
Fire.
Didi yelled at Sin and said it was the album of the year. We told him it was the album of the year. We love shit from all over the region, but the minute we say New York niggas got some shit, oh, you from New York, why you keep talking about this boom bap shit? Boom bap is dead. Fuck out of here.
Bro.
We like that shit.
Yo.
What's the problem?
Kendrick
man?
Lamar,
hate.
Schoolboy Q, Ab Soul,
Bro.
J. Cole, like a lot of people we love. Pusha, bro, though was born in New York.
Motherfuckers be acting like I don't like other niggas.
We love other people,
They
bro.
always talk Hove. Pusha T's from Virginia.
There you go.
Schoolboy's from motherfucking California.
Cali.
What we talking about?
Kendrick,
Future's from
Cali.
Atlanta. Kendrick's from Cali. Drake is from Canada. We talking
Fucking-
about all these niggas.
We had conversations about Kodak, Florida. You know what
Come
I'm
on,
saying?
we just talked about
Like,
Kodak.
Just talk. They'll be quick
Rick
to tell
Ross?
you how they
Rick
don't
Ross is
listen
one of
to
my
people.
favorite
Right.
niggas. Yo,
Come on,
Right.
bro.
but the minute we say anything
Canada.
about,
It's hate.
we said Nas was on that run of a lifetime. Oh, you from
New York niggas.
You 5 years. You New York. Y'all not been lit for 10 years.
Bro,
The South, y'all never gonna be lit
Ain't
again.
nothing else to call it but hate. And I
Come
want to know
on, bro.
why y'all got so much hate in your blood
They
for
fuck
New
they
York.
talking
Still
about.
holding on to that old shit. They still
We treated
holding
them-
on
Yo,
to that
scared.
old shit.
Deme, we treated niggas bad 25
years ago.
Get over it.
And I tell niggas that shit every
They
week.
scared.
Get over it, yo.
Shook ones?
I'm about to go Farrakhan for a second.
But
scared.
Wait till we talk about
They
Harlem, bro.
scared.
Get us out your mind,
They
man.
know
Stop
if New
paying
York
rent.
get it back, it's a wrap. Think about when New
we
York
not-
we had the most swag. Listen, when that fucking bad boy movement was different. There's nothing. There will never. I think there will never
That's
be.
going on 25
that shit
years.
was different. What southern shit you know have a bad boy movement like that?
And 25 years later, still have that kind of knock.
Too many niggas still having a tour 25. Come on, son. New York, you different, son.
Yo, we not paying rent, bro. We're not paying rent. So get
Niggas
us out
know
your
so
mind.
also
Shout
get it
out-
back. It's a rap.
shout
We're
out-
not giving it back.
Shout out to
Listen,
Andre
Rent's
3000. Like, New York niggas love Dre 3000. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of artists outside of New York that New
Nah,
York
you
people
don't
love,
get to
bro.
bring Andre 3000
I
up.
do.
No, you don't.
I'm not
Get the
using.
fuck
I'm
outta
not
here.
backing
Nope.
them, but I'm using.
I
That's why I
am
said it's a
not
bunch
trying
of
to-
bullshit.
We
In
show a lot of love,
96,
bro.
I was listening to 3 6
Get rid of this
Mafia.
guy.
My friends was Bone Thugs fans. My other friends like Mystical. My other friends fucked with Scarface.
Come on.
I fucked with BG and Lil
Nigga.
Wayne. Like, they full of shit.
When
B.
No
We
Limit
know.
was hot, we fucked with them niggas.
That's who we ain't like. That's what they mad about. We didn't like them Miller brothers. Them niggas was ass.
Missy and them, Virginia.
fuck with mad skills. We fuck with
Virginia.
mad people.
Imagine going from Nas versus Jay-Z, D-Block versus Rockefeller,
to
Dipset
Master
over there,
P.
and then out of left field, 2006, niggas is making snap music. Of course we mad. We are the greatest rap era ever. And then you want us to snap?
It was a perversion of art.
Come on, son.
It got really
about it.
simplistic. It got really
perversion.
basic.
I was in high school. I liked them shit.
Niggas
man.
never talk
We
about
know
the
no
fact
better.
They
that
were catchy. That's what they were supposed
it
to
was
do.
catchy. But niggas never talk about the fact that rap made a hard left artistically, and we didn't appreciate that bullshit.
Maybe that's where we're in the bias because we never looked at that like real rap. We always considered that kind of like some.
Clown shit.
good.
Right, our
Yo.
rap is different. First of all, a lot of these
Neo bias.
motherfuckers don't love this shit.
Facts.
It's
a
just
hustle.
shit they
Facts.
put on.
And it's a hustle for a
I'm
lot
talking
of
about
job,
the-
man.
I'm talking about
Oh,
the
the
fans.
fans. Oh,
They
okay.
just put it on. It's in the background. We drink, we smoke, we laugh, we play cards. We love this shit. We looking for new albums.
It's
we
album
looking for new
culture, bro.
So they not even looking
A
at it
vibe.
the same. So it's like we never gonna really see eye to eye. It's a vibe, like you said. They're not looking at it like we talking about the lyrics. We talking about the songs, the beats, hooks,
Train ride music, deep shit.
deep shit. So they just on it like, oh, I like how it sounds.
Fuck out of here. It gotta mean something.
They don't care
Get
about
worked up.
Feel it.
They don't care about none of that
Yo,
shit.
all right. I don't think we need to spend too much time on this topic, but I'm gonna ask anyway. How important is New York to hip hop now and in the future? Deme, talk to me.
Vital.
Vital. Oh, explain.
Like we may not be at the forefront like we used to, but there's always been a New York artist in the background that's bubbling, bro. I'm talking about not on the level of the southern make everybody dance shit, but there's always been somebody from New York who had the crown on in the back, just always letting you know I'm still here. I'm still here. We always had our footprint, and like I said, when you want the real deal, I didn't know Gumbo was out there, but I thought if you wanted real Gumbo, you go out to New Orleans. Anywhere else it'd just be generic. You dig what I'm saying? This is where you go to get the real deal. New York pizza, fuck Chicago's pizza, no. But this is where you come.
I'm sorry, Dev.
I like Chicago people.
This is where you come to get the real deal. We are the standard, bro.
Ron,
That's
talk
how I
to me.
feel.
What's the question again?
How important is hip hop
Now and
to
future.
New York? How important is New York to hip hop now and in the future?
That's a tough question, man. I feel like artists, not to sound corny, and to
Speak your truth, my
niggas gotta
nigga.
take it more serious. New York artists have to take it more serious. The producers kind of have to get off the beat biting and copying each other shit. New York has a lot of work to do, for me to really answer that question.
So let me ask you this, because we've had this conversation off the air. You say take it more serious.
Yeah.
There's a drill artist right now that believes he is taking it serious, and that's what it sounds like right now. What do you say to that?
Diversify his sound. I think drill is fucking disco.
Okay.
Meaning it's cool for now. It's ultra trendy, and in 10 years we're not gonna give a fuck about it. You know what I'm saying? So what I say is, New York artists need to do their fucking homework. Not take this shit serious. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
have pride in the shit.
Have pride in the shit. Do your homework. No, like when I got into music, I went and studied my parents' music. Like, I knew about Chuck Brown and fucking all these, you know what I'm saying? Even my father's from St. Vincent. I know about fucking Winston So, and I did my homework to get into it. Any field you get into, you have to do your homework. You have to take this shit. You have to take it serious.
Facts.
So I feel like for New York niggas to really get back to where we were, niggas got to get on some Kobe shit. And my niggas is partying, niggas listening to Coochie rap, niggas listening to motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Niggas really got to do their due diligence to really get back to where we were. So to answer your question, no. New York is not. We're not hitting right now.
Talk to me, Deme.
Sorry. Shout out to the Lobby Boys. That album was phenomenal.
Album was fire. Shout my
Album
guy.
was phenomenal.
I love that album more than anybody.
I'm giving you Mano, and Mano went the fuck off.
Love that album.
Mano went off
Mano
on that
went off.
goddamn album.
You showed up.
Jim Jones.
Little
Jim,
Jimmy, but
Ghostface Mano.
shout out to Mano.
Nah.
Hey, can I say something on air?
Go ahead.
If we had this conversation, and niggas might want to
They
kill me
will.
for this.
They will.
I've always said Mano could have been the new Tupac, the next Tupac. Not on some cultural shit, strictly on some artsy shit. Now, I'm not trying to take the conversation over. When Tupac was alive, before Death Row, he wasn't never no super lyrical nigga.
Right.
But as far as the Dear Mamas and the I Get Arounds, he was a radio killer.
It was deep.
Yeah.
Mano has that same pocket. He has that same energy, that strength. Mano could give you any kind of record. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because on his Bobby Boy album, they sampled the Tupac record and he bodied that shit. You know what I'm saying? So
rest in peace, Pop.
Yeah, man.
You feel like Mano is untapped potential?
Definitely. I think on he said that recently. You know what I'm saying? That he's definitely one of the untapped joints. You know, but pause. That don't sound fair.
All right, Deme. The New York champion that you are. How important is New York to hip hop now and in the future?
It's absolutely important. It never went anywhere. Like, people keep saying that. There's never been a moment where there ain't been a New York artist. Never.
Facts.
2000, it was 50 Cent. Then you had Nicki Minaj. You had French Montana. You had A$AP Rocky, A$AP Mob. And you still had the talent, man. We got talent right now. The Mussolini, Rome Streets, Boss.
Rome, what's good?
Mayhem,
Coach,
Loren,
what's good?
Flea Lord,
Shouts to the gang.
Rap
Bombay.
Still Killing, Rock Marciano, Skyzoo, Joey
China, what's
Badass,
good?
Shy, what's
Homeboy
happening?
Sandman,
Def Soldier.
Smoke Dizzin, Def Soldier on the come up. That's my guy. Flip
Def
De
Soldier
Niro,
on the Roundtable this summer.
Low.
Facts.
Listen, man, we in the mainstream, we in the underground. You got every type of music you want from New York. So it's vital.
To your point, because I follow a lot of niggas. Niggas gotta learn how to make big records though.
I gave you the ones who made the big records.
Who?
Nicki Minaj,
Oh,
French Montana,
facts.
A$AP
You
Rocky,
did, sorry.
A$AP Mob,
No,
Boss,
big
big records.
No, but I'm saying is
That's not what they're there for, though. They're there to give us that raw shit and that hip hop we like.
That's why I fuck with Benny, because the Benny album with Hit Boy was that album to where he elevated from being like amongst them. Not that sound crazy, but to be amongst like the underground
Street niggas,
The niche.
street niggas.
Nah, I know what you're saying.
To take it to that next level to where like he might get a flex, he might get a Hot 97 regular rotation.
Look where Benny is
so
now.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
More so than Conway, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm saying like those same dudes, they're gonna have to.
Flip De Niro's major. He got major hits.
I don't know what that is, honestly.
Hey,
But
he-
the-
Yeah, I mean,
Talented
shout out
Brooklyn
to Flip, but he from the Floss too. Floss, home team, you already know the vibe. But the Floss and they embrace Flip the way they embrace Pop.
That's my point. But I'm just saying we have every aspect. Flip got hits.
Yeah, you right.
We got guys that spit. We got guys that don't over rap. Smoke Dizza, the Mussolini. We got guys that make pop records. French Montana, Nicki she make pop records. So I feel like we never left, man. We have spitters. We got radio. New York abandoned New York rappers. That's what happened. That's what happened. They talking about New York bias.
Niggas are
Niggas
spitting
in New
tonight,
York
boy.
don't like New York rap no more. All this Griselda shit is new, man. This is like last week.
Yo, we just talked about that
This shit is
yesterday.
last week. These niggas been rhyming since 2012. And I used to throw they shit on niggas that told me take that dinosaur music off.
Niggas be acting like Griselda is some new shit when the sound is 20 years old,
They
bro.
been rap. Plus, they been out since 2013. Granted, their production got a little better, but
They been
I'm just
there.
saying they on mainstream now, so everybody flocking to them.
Shout out to Sin.
But yeah, you know, New York is in the
Mace.
building.
You heard the question. Talk to me. What is your take?
I know this was supposed to be New York bias, but I'm gonna keep it a bug. Not very important at all. Hip hop is more regionless than ever. You know what I mean? When you talk about the internet and social media, it's taken away where you can look at somebody and know they was from Harlem. You can look at somebody and know, oh, that's a Queens nigga right there. You know what I mean? Everybody kind of copies off of each other. Our top 10 list had Kendrick from LA, Drake from Canada, Cole from North Carolina, Gibbs from Indiana, Lil Baby from Atlanta, Kanye from Chicago. You know what I mean? Like the biggest dude moving right now, Dirt out of Chicago. That's who everybody, all the little niggas in New York listen to Dirt. You know what I mean? If you want to keep it a buck, we're past, and just like I mentioned earlier, we're past the point where we judged, where other regions were actively searching for our approval. That's where Lil Wayne came from, trying to rap like a New York nigga. Even you mentioned Andre. His appeal was that he kind of got like a New York. You know what I mean? Like, so I think just we kind of passed the point of anywhere being essential to hip hop. It's
global now.
Yeah, it's too global.
And accessible.
It's too copyable. If that's not a word, but y'all fucking with
It's a
me.
word
You know what I
tonight.
mean? So I'm just saying,
I
I
agree with
don't
that.
think that New
Valid
York
point.
specifically is very important to. But I would say that about any state, to be honest with you.
Go ahead, Deme.
Like, I thought I had this already as far as the vital in the future.
Yeah, he set it off.
I thought I went to him first.
No, you went to me first.
Casamigos. Sincere the Rap Snob.
Future sponsor.
I'm glad I'm coming right after Mace. Because
Yikes.
Whoa.
Take two.
Take two. We gonna edit that John out.
We can't make this shit up.
Damn it, man.
I'm glad I'm giving my opinion right after Mace's opinion. Because he mentioned a lot of artists there. He mentioned Freddie Gibbs.
That's crazy.
Shout out to Kata.
That was so extra slow, bro.
It's smooth. That's what that shit was. That shit was fitting.
Yo. Now he mentioned a lot of artists. He mentioned Freddie. He mentioned Cole. You know, he mentioned a lot of artists there. The New York DNA is.
Don't say obsolete.
No, the New York DNA is. He threw me off with the drop. He did.
As I pour more Casamigos.
We all Casamigo'd out right now, man. But the artists that Mace was talking about, the vast majority of them, the New York DNA is in there.
Basically.
For all of them. Let me run it down real quick. All right, let's talk about the underground. Deme, you big on the underground and bringing more light to underground artists, giving them a platform, giving them their shine, their due shine. You take an artist like Boldy James, one of the biggest artists in the underground, not from New York, but that's that New York sound. Freddie Gibbs from Indiana, not from New York, but he's getting off on that New York sound. Alchemist, one of the biggest producers in the game right now, producing for everyone from Boldy James and the whole Griselda camp
Kendrick.
To Freddie Gibbs to Kendrick.
Okay.
Right. That's the New York sound. You know what I mean? Then we take it to the mainstream. Let's talk about Cole and Kendrick and even Drake. Right? Cole and Kendrick, we've already established, right? When they on they spit a shit, like that's
New York.
That's the New York cadence, that's the New York style, that's DNA, New York DNA. Now Drake, right? We've standard him enough, but every now and again he gets on a track and bars the fuck out. When he bars the fuck out, that's New York. That's New York style bars that he's giving us, right? We have Cardi B. Now, for better or worse, despite whatever
I'm looking at Sin extra hard when
whatever
Cardi
y'all want to say about Cardi, she's a megastar.
She's a star.
She's a megastar.
And she
from
came
New
from
York.
the ground up.
Nicki is a megastar from New York. Every time Hove drops anything, even a 16 on a feature, it fucking breaks the internet.
And when y'all niggas be pandering, it's not that good. Pandering ass niggas.
Nas on his Renaissance era and putting his hand on all these different the podcasts, different documentaries, like he's
be the hottest
everywhere,
nigga out right now.
Making sure that the story of hip hop is told properly. That's New York. New York is everywhere, and it's gonna continue to be everywhere. If y'all don't like New York, y'all gonna be mad about New York. And our takes on New York, that's on y'all. But we gonna be here. We everywhere. Y'all ain't never there. Shout out to Deme.
Shout out to Deme.
Fuck out of here.
Listen, and I'll put a bow on Sincere's point, and I'll say this, and I don't care about how the table feels, how y'all feel watching this who might not be from New York. The blueprint and the template for a nice rapper sounds like he's from New York.
Still New York.
It's 2022 and it's still the case. Every nice rapper every nigga with bars every nigga with elite pocket work great breathing certain beat selection it stems from New York City. So even if the rapper himself is not from the town, we have established what good is. And we will continue to decide what good is for the rest of time. And you have to wear it. You have to wear it because we ain't going nowhere. And get familiar, and I'll put it like this. And when them niggas blow up, where do they come? They don't go to LA. NYC. They don't go to Atlanta. They don't go to Miami. They go to New York. New York dictates the fucking world. It's New York bias too, and y'all gotta wear that shit. Fuck out of here.
Hold it.
Next question. Mace, I'm coming to you. We're gonna just make this the young rap segment. You can take this for yourself.
Let's do it.
The question that I have is, can drill maintain its status amongst the youth? And what else is going on in the young rap space?
I'm going to say yes. Drill can absolutely maintain its stronghold against the youth. I recall this conversation 10 years ago about trap, about this is going to go away, we're done here. But I believe that drill is going to have the same chokehold on the youth that trap has had for the last few years. I mean, when I think about not the best, not the nicest, but the most notable artists from New York in the last half decade or so, we got Bobby Shmurda, we got 6ix9ine, let's keep it a buck. We got A Boogie, we got Pop Smoke, we got Fabio. We even got my boy K Flock, who never really got off, but he was right there. He was right there. I had to throw you in.
He got one of the biggest records right now with that shit with Cardi.
Right,
enormous.
Right, that was the trajectory he was on. So all of these artists are influenced by drill rap. They all talk about how Chief Keef and the Fredo Santana and them type of niggas were influential to them. So, like, when I think about the last few artists from New York all being influenced by drill, and us kind of just really in New York saying, oh, drill is a movement. Nah, it's been a movement. When Bobby and Rowdy came out with Computers, I felt like I was looking at G Herbo and Lil Bibby on some kill shit, to be honest with you. And that's
But it was
years
though.
ago. Exactly.
That's 2013, 2012, around that time.
And it's more stronger now than ever, is what I'm saying. So I don't know why 7 years later we're saying, will it have a chokehold? It's got the chokehold. It took over the youth. It's here. If you look at every region, they even got LA drill, and they was already gangbanging.
So here's my question to you, bro. Like, will these niggas be able to stay alive long enough and out of jail long enough to make this shit last, bro? Like,
they'll have a never-ending, because it is so easy to make rap nowadays. There'll be a never-ending amount of people that but I will let my New York bias show, because when we talking about drill, all of the biggest drill artists, Chief Keef, Fredo, Dirk, King Von, rest in peace, they all said 50 was their biggest influence.
You see that?
I done seen interviews where they said they used to do they little drills listening to Heat by 50 Cent. So I'm just saying, at the end of the day, we still influence all. You know what I mean? But I don't
on the radio.
Facts. Pop was the doppelganger 50. Was the modern 50.
That's
if you want to keep it a buck.
Nah, Pop was a phenomenon, bro.
Pop 50 was a phenomenon.
Yeah, that 12 million soul was.
Yeah, Fifth was a phenomenon.
Yeah,
so I if y'all have any differences of opinion, y'all can say it. But I don't think drill. I feel like drill ain't going nowhere. It's the music of the youth, and it's been catching steam. It's just really coming to the mainstream, where you got the mainstream artists deciding, hey, let me go pop the Fabio for a drill record. Let me go pop the Dirk for a drill record. The mainstream is just catching on, but the youth been on drill. It's not going anywhere.
Are they still doing drill in UK?
Yeah, they still doing drill in UK.
They do grime in UK.
I'm just asking because I know I used to hear about it a lot. It don't sound
that's
like
what I'm saying.
before,
Chicago,
Chicago sound quiet too.
They changed a lot for the better and the worse.
Duck and all that,
right.
And you know what?
So long
Mace,
now.
I'll say this: the fact that Cardi and Nicki both rushed drill artists,
both of them
at the same time, essentially.
City Girls
too. They've identified drill as the wave for the TikTokers and the youth. So I don't think drill is going anywhere.
Say to stay, you just starting to see those getting sturdy TikToks and you know what I mean. It's really just catching to the mainstream.
Ron
so I don't think
right
it's.
now.
I don't think it's.
Dropped something today. You heard the shit about him and Favi?
Yeah, him and Favi. That's actually in the segment.
K Flock.
That's actually in the
K-Flock
segment.
and Fabio?
Yeah,
dropped today.
Can y'all put that in the chat? I need
will.
that.
I listened to it, bro.
Less,
but
say less. I got you.
You would not think a nigga would be making that kind of song behind bars, man. I just
listen,
crazy.
man. This is what I'm saying.
Fire. But everything's about clapping niggas like usual.
Don't even rush it. Don't rush it.
Don't rush it. We got a little bit different ears, bro.
What about the news? What's happening?
So in the news, we got a few things going on in the news. Shouts to Lil TJ, man. He got in a little jam. He caused some he was attempted robbery. He was shot about 7 times in the chest that they said.
Wow.
He still unconscious. They say his lungs collapsed. They say he's still, in a coma right now. So, shouts to TJ, man. Like, y'all know how I feel about this topic. Every week I come, I'm a fan of the drill. I'm a fan of this shit. You know what I mean? I'm tired of saying this shit, y'all. I'm tired of it. You know what I mean? But hopefully my guy Lil TJ gets through. So shouts to the Bronx as well. But to switch it up a little bit, Joey Badass, because this is the New York bias too, young segment. We ain't talking about any of y'all other niggas. But Joey Badass delayed his album. He got a new album coming out, and he delayed it right the day that Drake dropped. Because of sample clearance issues. I've never heard of sample clearance issues the day of the record. About 4 p.m. Like, the shit was supposed to drop in 8 hours, and they say, you know what, these samples don't work. They have like technology that goes over music and picks out the samples before you even fucking put it out. Joey, you're not fooling anybody. Drop that shit. And if you'd have known that Drake was gonna drop this whack shit, you probably would have fucking dropped it anyway, bro. Grow some balls, my nigga. But
wow,
unique. Hey,
chill, because we didn't bring him up during the New York segment. Shouts to Joey Badass, another New York artist.
Nah, I mentioned him. I definitely mentioned him.
I figured y'all was leaving it for me. You know what I mean? But Bobby Shmurda recently put out a video. He said that the producers are charging too much.
That was some wild.
So that's why he hasn't put out the record.
They the ones who making people careers nowadays.
The thing is, that's such bullshit to me, because Bobby blew up off of a record he found on YouTube.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? Bobby, if you gonna make magic, you gonna do it on any beat, bro. Like, stop giving us excuses. Stop telling us, listen, we already see the writing in the wall, bro. So, Bobby, stop the bullshit,
and
bro.
It ain't stop Rowdy.
We sick of it.
My thing is, that's not even your money.
It's
That's
right.
label money.
That's the label money.
What the fuck is you talking about?
That's the label money.
Hold on, wait.
The fuck are you talking about?
Facts.
Lord Jamal has a question. Well, fellas, we seen with all of this conversation that we love this New York shit. In the last, I would say, 3 years, the New York sound has definitely made a way, a loud way in the space. As I would say, up until maybe 2018, 2019, we've been kind of like digging back. It's not before where it was a southern genre. We see Nas with a 3-peat alongside Hit Boy. We've seen everything Griselda's done as a group and as independent solo artists. My question to y'all would be, and I'm gonna go to Sin first, is, did these guys, Nas and Griselda, prove that New York rap can still be relevant and profitable? Sin.
Absolutely, man. Let's talk about Griselda first. Like Deme was saying, their grind has been going on for years and years, and they finally now broken through. Like, honestly, shout outs to that type of tenacity to keep making the music that you want to hear, that you know is missing in the space, and not giving up on that. Because I'm sure, like, somewhere in that journey, I'm sure motherfuckers was thinking, like, damn, like, we still haven't broken through. Like, should we switch it up? Should we do some trap? Should we do some drill? Nah, fuck that. Keep making that New York music, and it fucking broke through. These motherfuckers been on Jimmy Fallon. They've been on all types of shows. They headlining or co-headlining music festivals now, or being part of the bigger lineup. So many people have. There's been so many detractors to that New York sound, that sound that we grew up on, and to see Griselda like prove themselves and prove that sound still has a place in the market and still has an audience, and to work themselves onto these stages, these Tonight Show stages, these primetime stages, these festival stages. Like, it's, you can't stop it. You can't stop it, man. Can't deny it.
Talk to me, Deme.
I'm not really sure, man.
Ooh,
yeah,
I didn't expect that.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, because I feel like the city's still the same. I feel like the city's still fronting on our acts, still not supporting our acts enough. I feel like Nas and Griselda did give people what's the word?
Relevance?
No,
Notoriety?
motivation or confidence to like you said, to be comfortable in doing that type of music. And Nas always been doing that.
Yeah.
So shout out to them and shout out to Griselda. I'm still kind of on the fence though. I'm still waiting to see how the city reacts. I want to see what happens with Rome, honestly.
Shout out Rome.
I want to say this real quick, y'all.
Yeah.
I think the idea in 2022 of relevance is an outdated term.
You think
because
so?
Real talk, I just heard my guys say that nobody knows drill niggas. There's people who think those are the only rappers out. They don't even know who. I'm not trying to
entrenched in them saying know it, but
and that's what I'm saying. That's the type of climate we're dealing with. That where people only listen to Griselda and think that's the hottest shit ever. And then there's another corner that never heard of them niggas.
So you think it's that subgenre shit?
The internet has made it the point where it's like we got a bunch of bubbles. You make a playlist now. You don't listen to the radio. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think the idea of relevance is very outdated in 2022. Everybody got their own little area that they fucking with, but they definitely have shown it's profitable. I know you see they shining out here.
Talk to me, Ron.
You know?
Hold on one second. To that point, I just want to piggyback off that point real quick, because we were just having this conversation in the group chat when Jarv threw in, somebody put up a Facebook status in the Griselda group on Facebook.
About Harry Fraud
and said
shit.
that Griselda brought more shine to certain producers like Harry Fraud. And to that point, it's like if you're in that Griselda bubble and didn't really listen to Harry Fraud outside of that bubble, you don't know Harry Fraud has been doing songs with Chinks and French Montana for years, over 10 years, and had hits.
Classics.
Like knocking every day on the radio.
Facts.
But now, if you're in that Griselda bubble, you're gonna be like, oh, Benny's doing a joint project with Harry Fraud. He's bringing the shine to Harry Fraud.
But they out the bubble,
and that's how you create history.
You got your Benny the Boom, Rocky Marciano bubble. You got your Playboy Cardi, Lil Uzi bubble. You got your Lil Durk, Lil Baby bubble, and all of them motherfuckers think that none of them other people matter. So it's like relevance.
My thing is, I feel that being that hip hop is now 40-something years old. And 20 years ago, we never thought of seeing a 30-year-old rapper. Like niggas saying I'm retiring by
unheard of.
Talk about that, yeah.
So now that niggas is pushing 40, 50, pushing 50, there's a market for I'm 43. I might go see Stove Guard Monday night.
Yeah.
Niggas are still spending money to see they rappers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
you going to the Stove Guard shit?
Yeah,
my man $100,000 in there. I'm about to fuck with it.
You know what I'm saying? So
think about that.
Shout out.
You know what I'm
We
saying?
love this shit.
Facts.
So it's there's a marketplace for that kind of rap. And to dismiss it is fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's not going nowhere. That kind of rap is not going nowhere.
And then to the Nas point, it's thank God that, Hit Boy and Nas got together, because that's like Quincy and Michael or some shit.
You know what I mean? I like that comparison.
It's the ill combo. You know what I'm saying? So it's very profitable. Fucking West Side is in Paris with Julia Lane.
Facts.
Front row.
Very
profitable.
Facts.
Very profitable.
Yo, you said West Side, and it was when he dropped Hitler Wears Hermes Side A. That Richard Mill was the biggest flex of 2021.
Not Richard Mill.
Because so many niggas was calling it Richard Millie.
Yeah.
And he got the nigga himself to say it's Richard Mill. And I was like, this nigga is shitting on the whole industry. And nobody knew at the time. It was like, yo, this nigga's really dissing y'all niggas. You know that, right? Y'all ignorant ass niggas. Go ahead, Ron. I'm sorry, but you made a good point.
It's very profitable.
Little baby, I remember when you bought that fake Richard Millie, bro.
But to your point, niggas gotta stick with it. Stick with your art, stick with your craft.
Facts.
There's a lane for everything. You know what I'm saying? Fucking
especially now.
Doja Cat had fucking I'm a Cat and blew up.
I'm a cow. And now she's a rapper.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? There's a lane for everything. I know, my fault.
Doja Cat's a rapper now.
Yeah. So to the artists out there, just stay in your lane, stick to that shit. And, you'll be smart with it. You know what I mean?
Everybody don't gotta make the same music.
Profitable, I say it is, man. Nas has given us 3, I would say, classics. Some of the best music he's probably ever given us. It's definitely high up there. KD1, KD2, Magic. Beautiful albums. There's a lot of money, man. There's a lot of There's a lot of ways in the door. You see what Griselda did, man. Like the perseverance, the energy. Like that's like you said. If there's a bubble, there's a lot of people in that bubble, bro. Because it's almost like they're the only source that a lot of people are getting right now. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of ways. There's a lot of everything, bro. Like this is a great sound. The industry is loving the sound. We hear dudes basically like copying Griselda now. They're taking all the sounds out the beats now. The beats are just the sample itself. You know what I'm saying? We're still inspiring, like you said, New York vibes. We're still inspiring. We're still invigorating. We're still resurrecting shit. We're here, man. What the fuck are we talking about?
Mace, I'm sorry, bro. You my guy, but I gotta disagree with you.
What's happening?
You said the word relevance doesn't belong here. I think when it comes to New York, the word relevance matters. Because when you talk to the average rap fan who wasn't tapped into the last few golden eras, the first thing they always say is, New York is not relevant anymore. They love throwing that at, and even us as the Rap Roundtable, they love saying we don't matter, we're not relevant. And I feel like with what Nas did, especially what Griselda did, I think it shows that there's a space, especially with the new underground wave. These guys who are like, they're underground, but they're right there. I think that relevance matters because it shows that people still want lyricism. Because for a while, and I've repeated myself countless times in this pod, there was a time when if you were really good at rapping, you got made fun of because people just wanted to have fun.
Right.
Whereas we were the New York niggas like, nah, you still got to make sense when you rap. And
that was that slaughterhouse era.
Yeah, man. And I believe that Nas dropping 3 consecutive classics, and that's not even a hyperbole
at all.
And I'm not a Nas fan. Y'all know that already. Y'all know how I stay. But those are
they're gonna forget that immediately.
Of course, you're right. You're right. But 3 undeniable classics. Griselda with the tapes, the albums, the cosigns. To me, relevance matters, Mace, because
Rock Nation brunches.
Because it shows that all you still can be good at rapping and make a way and make a bag in this industry. The Benny and Drake feature was a talked about thing for so long until it dropped. It wasn't very good, but it happened.
I didn't hear that.
You never heard it? Dropped like a year ago, bro. Google that shit.
You
know why you didn't hear it?
It leaked.
It leaked. But it wasn't fire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't good. When you find it, you know what I'm saying? But it's like we cared that Benny got next to Drake.
Yeah.
You talked about the Hit Boy and Benny album. That was a big ass deal. Burden of Proof is fire.
Facts.
And it shows that you can still rap one particular way, not completely sell out, and still have people matter. I found myself locked in to Griselda. Shout out to Sin. That I was finding Cooking Soul on YouTube and just listening to beats, listening to him flip
nasty
certain people's songs and putting his beats underneath their vocals because it's like that shit matters. It's relevant.
You was sending them shits in heavy.
Selling in the group chat because it was so fire to me.
Yeah, it was mean.
To me,
that remix to Rock Marcy, the Rock Marcy drum with Pete Rock.
Come on.
And he flipped that shit crazy,
Stupid.
man.
It showed that you could still just be good at rapping and make people care. And that shit was like a mind fuck for me because it's like, wow, I didn't think we'd ever get back there. You know what I'm saying? So
I think niggas wasn't paying attention though.
It was
the pandemic happened. Niggas had to sit down.
Before then.
And honestly, shout out to Hit Boy because Hit Boy ain't have to do that. He ain't have to put himself beside a Nas or a Benny. He could have stayed in that trajectory.
In that LA lane with Larry June.
You know what I mean?
What do you prove to Larry June?
You know what I mean?
Shout my son Dom Kennedy.
Hit Boy's ahead, bro.
Kept doing trap shit. Kept in that trajectory. He didn't have to put himself next to Nas or Benny or Griselda. So shouts to Hit Boy for having that platform and saying, you know what? Nah, this is what I want to do. Y'all need to pay attention to this shit over here.
And while we're here, I'm gonna ask Deme this question. I'm gonna make it a whole table question. We talked about the New York sound being relevant, being profitable. I'll ask you this question. Why do you feel that we still hold lyricism so high in 2022?
I mean, it depends on who's the we.
You.
I know. Me, us. Like, that's what hip hop is to me. Well, people will understand that there will always be bumping heads because what hip hop is to you is not what hip hop is to me.
Okay.
Hip hop to me is originality, versatility, speaking your own experience in your own way. You know, you can draw inspiration from elsewhere, but the whole pride was, I'm doing it my way, or I'm doing it like this.
Okay.
Now it's like, that's what's working, I'm gonna do that. So, and as far as lyricism, that's not what a lot of these people were introduced as. It's like they were introduced as party music, chill music, and that's basically it. We got everything. When we talked about partying, it was still like, I'm still gonna rap about it. You know what I'm saying? When he's talking about ice, I'm still gonna rap about it. Now it's just like a vibe all the time, so they don't really care like how we care. To me, this is my life, man. This is what I love. Like I said, I look for new artists. I enjoy new artists. They just turn the radio on and be like, all right, this is cool. Or they turn their streaming services on like, all right, this is what it is.
Okay, matter of fact, Ron, you our guest as well.
Yeah, I think
we've had many conversations about lyricism.
Yeah,
Why do you think it matters?
I think lyricism is the conversation piece of the art form. Because that's the shit where you, like, when you're in college, you like, yo, this nigga said so.
How do you come up with that?
You know what I'm saying? That's the conversation piece. It's like, all right, you know, the wordplay, the flow, the double entendres, like that's
triple entendres.
Triple entendre. That's what make the shit stretch so long.
Right.
You know, the little Dirks in them, it's like they have these cool records, but niggas ain't talking about these records. Niggas ain't talking, yo, nigga got a classic. That nigga said so-and-so. Niggas ain't saying that. It's 2022. I'm still picking up reasonable doubt lines. Like, what the fuck did Jay mean by freezing my kneecap? And I don't know I don't know what that shit means to this day. That's the conversation piece. That's the shit that keeps this shit going. You know what I'm saying? So lyricism is integral to the culture.
That's what you're saying. It's something about being able to put your thoughts, your perspectives, your trials, your tribulations, your accomplishments, your just environment into words.
Right.
You know, and to put it into words, you know, back what you said, the entendres, the flow, the cadence, that's really hard to do, and very few people could do it. That's why we respect when people have that ability.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
so
yeah, you know, to compare it to like jazz musicians, it's like when dudes talk about like John Coltrane and Miles Davis with however they was playing the instrument.
Right.
It's the same table.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we have to keep that shit going because hip hop cannot go like jazz did, bro. It can't be a college course for only like what white kids is fucking with it. Niggas is dying for this shit.
But on a certain level, we already see that like a lot of the underground shows, it's a lot of them. And it's not like a lot of underground shows with the lyric, like
I just went to Pusha T show last week.
A lot of
them. You know what I mean?
Like, so
it was a dope show, but it was
a lot of them, right? Yeah, you know what I mean?
A lot of the
them.
I think that's the Kanye factor, though, because in essence,
that's true too.
They just support it more too. Like.
No, that's no funny shit. It's funny you say that because I think we talked about it here. Shout out to Coach once again. We'll go to these shows with the Walkers. Shout out to Rim. Shout out to Kane. All these guys.
Passport.
When we look around the crowd, it's a lot of them. It ain't us.
Even at Griselda shows.
Facts.
Especially as of late too. As of like the last year or two.
That's Gibbs too, by the way.
To add my 2 cents to this, I think I want to make 2 points. One, it started here, and if we're talking about why do we hold lyricism to such a high esteem and on such a high pedestal? One, we in New York, it started here, and that was one of the pillars was MCing. Who had the best wordplay? Who could beat who in a battle? You know what I mean? And you had to have the best bars. Even if by today's standards, we hear some of them bars from 40, 50 years ago, you know what I mean? And they don't hit the same. Shout out to Storm, you know. Right. But that's where it started, and that was the point of it, right? And that evolved into the G-Raps and Rakims and Kanes and Nas's and Biggs and
golden era.
You know what I mean? So there was that evolutionary period where like the wordplay and the lyricism and the MCing evolved, but from the very beginning, emceeing was an integral part of it. I think the second thing that to this day we're still holding on to that, and we still see it as very important because we're fucking New York. We're a mecca of high arts. You know what I mean?
We're the high art capital of the world.
Museums, theaters, exhibits popping up all over the place. You know what I mean? Like we hold high art and culture to a high esteem, right? To a high pedestal. So we're not just gonna like just give up on the art of MCing and the art of lyricism just like that. We're not gonna just fucking let it go. Why would we? Like we're New York.
And I think the problem is a lot of those niggas out of town, they look at hip hop as a bag,
right?
Not art.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
If you go to some of these other states and cities across the country, they may not hold art to the same esteem. So it's like, you know what I mean? They're just gonna do it however they feel like doing it, and not really do the knowledge and do the due diligence of studying the art of it, right? But we're New York. We're gonna always hold it down for the art.
Mace, I got a question for you.
Sure.
It's kind of in the vein, but not. A lot of people feel like now, and when I threw up the post about the Drake albums and how I felt about it, I had a gentleman say, shout out to Dre, actually, I'll put his name on it. Dre said that the art aspect doesn't matter as much. It's not about albums anymore. It's the playlist era. What do you say to that?
I have to agree with that.
Okay.
It is the playlist era. That's kind of why we're getting these 40-song albums, and it's impossible to have a classic when you got to listen to the album in 3 days. So I gotta agree with Dre there, and to deviate just a little bit, I would think one thing we always, and you non-New Yorkers might not know this, but one thing we always have to consider, and I never hear it mentioned, is that New York got a little bit gentrified. You know what I mean? A little bit gentrified. I was walking down Fulton yesterday, and I couldn't believe it. Like I guess I hadn't been there in a few years. I was walking down Fulton, and I saw one black person. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, we have to speak about a lot of what we've lost as New York is the fact that we got 6 New Yorkers here. Does it feel like New York even 10 years ago to you guys?
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? So a lot of what we've lost as a region and as a state has to do with what we've lost internally. And y'all might not know that, but we do.
Even that old Times Square energy, bro. Like, classic Times Square back in the day.
It's over.
Right.
It's over.
So let me ask my guests. You guys are here. I'm going to throw this question to you guys. Ron, I'm going to come to you first. Should New York rap fans show more respect to other regions?
I think we do.
You think we do already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because throughout this conversation, half of the young niggas y'all talking about, I don't know who the fuck they are.
And they wasn't from New York.
And they wasn't from New York, so they do. You know what I mean? It's short and simple answer. You know?
Deme?
Like I said, that shit is bullshit. We've been showing love since in 96, niggas was listening to 3 6 Mafia, Mystical, Ghetto Boys, Scarface, Bone Thugs and Harmony,
all the
Cash
West Coast
Money,
shit.
All the West Coast niggas, King T, Ice Cube, NWA, Loonies. Like, we been supporting. They the bias niggas, B.
Look, jump in,
I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like you know, I just had my little spiel about high art. We're elitists, right? We're elitists.
Bougie. We're not biased,
right? So from our vantage point, we just don't like the bullshit. We don't like when you discard the art and just make it a bop, right? That's where I'm coming from. That's I think where most of us are coming from is like we'll show support as long as it's not some bullshit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Don't discard the art like the art don't matter. The art matters all day, every day.
I'll say this. I agree with Sin and I agree with Deme and Ron. We've been showing love. We've been aware because New York is so hip hop centric that it's our duty to be aware. I think that the people who are biased outside of New York need to stop acting as if because we're not talking about your favorites, automatically we're not tapped in.
There you go.
New York niggas, if nothing else, we love rap so much that we're always looking for the new shit.
Right.
Whether we think it's good or not, it's a different conversation. But we're tapped in. We're looking for it. Yes, New York. Yeah. And if you are of that ilk who doesn't give a fuck about the other regions, you should. But 9 times out of 10, we already was there and we discarded it. Stop giving a shit.
I remember when Nipsey and YG had a show at the Hulu. That motherfucker sold out back in the day.
Shout out to Nipsey, another nigga from the West Coast that niggas love.
Fucking with them.
You know what I'm saying?
We don't like whack niggas.
New York bias as a whole might be one of the biggest myths in hip hop history. New York has never necessarily been biased. We just fuck with our shit the most because it's the best. But if you're good or you're elite, we fuck with you.
Ain't that how everybody else is?
And
Atlanta niggas, first of all, we will say 50 rappers from New York that's whack. We will hold niggas to standards. These other places, nobody's whack from where they from.
And Atlanta niggas be the first ones to say, yo, we didn't play Jay-Z over there.
First
so who's
one.
biased?
Atlanta,
or is it a y'all?
And nobody's whack from Atlanta. Nobody's whack.
Bronx Day, so I'm not even. They love New York City. Atlanta has a Bronx Day.
But when you talk to rappers or niggas in the industry, they be like, we wasn't playing XY artists over there.
Impossible. There's certain
that's what they said,
you can't.
That's what Mobb Deep. This Mobb Deep and Outkast argument
in the
right now.
2000s, 90s.
Jump in, bro.
And just a PSA for you non-New York motherfuckers out there. If you watching this video or any of our videos, right, the worst way to present an artist to us that we might not be tapped into is, why y'all motherfuckers ain't talking about such and such and XYZ? That's not how to bring it up. That's not how to bring them up.
Precisely.
You know what I mean? Because immediately we're gonna think your ass is biased to your region, and we're not gonna fucking pay attention to it. You know what I mean?
Just ask, what do you think about this artist?
You think we're giving out? Y'all giving out too.
Yeah.
So.
I could feel it because that's actually how my platform started, because I was in a Facebook hip hop group, and all these niggas wanted to talk about was Rakim and Como D and shit, and I'm like,
LL Cool J,
or the same 6 albums. So I'm trying to get the convo elsewhere. Y'all see how I do it too. I'm trying to get
the bonds,
and it just was not working. So I'm like, all right, let me go to Twitter and start my own shit. So there are people who don't want to talk about nothing new and stuck in the past, but that's them.
Like if we need to hear about a new artist, you know what I mean? Just come in and be like, yo, have you heard about such and such? Because it's kind of similar to Benny, or kind of similar to whoever, Pusha T, or whoever.
Put us on.
Right. Send a link.
My man with ESTG. I think ESTG is really good. You guys should tap in. Fuck New York. You niggas are stuck in the past. Y'all don't even know about ESTG. That's the first way we're not gonna fuck with you.
That's a
we talked about ESTG in the future fucking in the review of the Future album, bro. Nigga just don't listen, bro. And May shouted him out personally.
2 of them albums. Yeah, 2 different albums he dropped. I was like, go listen to that shit. It's hard.
Facts, Mace.
Well, fellas, we are officially now in the stretch run of the Rap Roundtable New York Bias episode 2. We are at the Mailbag. Personally, my favorite segment. I kept it short today because the last time we had essentially six voices. We ran overtime. I didn't want to go overtime this time, so I kept the Mailbag short. So we have Ben Blithers. I found him on Facebook because I felt like he was attacking the Rap Roundtable. We chopped it up. We came to an agreement. We had an understanding. Shout out to Ben. He fucked with the show. But he did say, I'm tired of niggas saying boom bap. Ron, what do you say to Ben saying he's tired of niggas saying boom bap?
Like the actual word?
The phrase or describing the space in hip hop as boom bap.
I don't have a problem with it.
You don't have a problem with him saying he's tired of niggas saying
that?
Because he's tired of us specifically saying.
So what should people say?
I think they tired of that boom bap shit. Is what he's trying to say. Is that what Ben Blithers?
Of the terminology or the
I don't want to speak for the man,
sound?
but it sound like it.
That's what it sounds like.
The terminology or the sound?
I think the terminology.
Saying that like this beat right here, we'll call it boom bap. What Benny's doing, we'll call it boom bap. Conway, Griselda, Nas, etc. We'll call it boom bap. He's saying he's tired of niggas calling this shit boom bap.
I'm tired.
I'd rather hear boom bap than lo-fi.
Thank you.
We'll talk about it.
Because actually, boom bap, wasn't that coined by like KRS-One or some shit like that?
Return of the boom bap?
That's before KRS though. That's before KRS.
Who coined that
boom
term?
bap is when they was having the parties, and that's what they used to rap off. So they call it like a boom bap. Like
no, but I think KRS-One actually
Brought it to the mainstream.
That's
he
before.
brought it
That's
to everybody's
to the
attention.
mainstream. Yeah, but that was already coined before him, though.
But-
That's that Cool Herc era.
Like he
and shit
didn't make
like
it
that.
up. He got it. He got it from his forefathers before.
So what do you think about that?
I think he needs to be more specific as to why we.
Too ambiguous?
Right, it's too ambiguous. But I don't know. I've talked about this before. I think the term boom bap today, depending on who's using it, they'll use it as almost as a derogatory
slight
term.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that shit rubs me the wrong way.
That shit rubs me the wrong way.
But they had that. But back in the 90s, it was dirty backpack. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Forgot about that.
it's always a negative thing with
Right.
this actual genre.
Right.
But that goes to like what Rim was saying with it being boom nap though. I think a lot of people are conflated with the
I
whole.
never heard that before.
But to this point, I think the crossover between like boom bap and lo-fi, I think there's a blurred line there. Lo-fi was like, I don't know, like
Because we let those
these
people
white,
in.
these white 17-year-olds in like their room in their parents' house, and they're trying to like emulate what Jay Dilla used to do, and like they put all this fuzz and extra effects on it.
Portis head ass niggas.
Yeah, and then just like suck all of the soul out of their beats, right? I think there's a lot of like people that confuse the two.
All right,
So
let's get to the next message. Mr. Workout on our post about Kendrick and Drake, as well as Kiss versus Ghostface. He says, the difference between Jadakiss and Ghostface. Ghostface doesn't really have punchlines like that. You remember how everybody remembers Jadakiss' whole rhyme from the song Run. Remember we talked about who had the better verse on the song Run.
Right.
So Sin, I'll come to you. Based on what he's saying, he's talking about punchlines. What do you say to that?
I love me a punchline rapper. Big L, Cannabis back in the day, Lord Finesse, the Godfather.
Lloyd Banks, the GOAT.
Lloyd Banks later on.
Fabulous.
I love me a good
Cannabis.
I love me a good punchline rapper, but we can't act like punchline rappers is the end all be all of barsmiths and lyricists and spitters.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Nas ain't really got no punchlines.
Right.
You know what I mean? Hove has wordplay and double entendres, but like, similes and metaphors, but not really punchlines. Like, there's so much more to lyricism and MCing than punchlines. You know what I mean? We can't hold punchlines.
Maybe
as,
punchlines meant like quotables. Like,
And then-
what's the Ghost quotables? You get what I'm saying?
Ghost got quotables.
Got a lot of quota, and that's why I was mad at. I'm sorry, Mace.
Thank
That's why
God
I
for my
was.
Wallaby shoe. It done saved me.
That's why I was mad at all these Wayne fans, because Wayne was getting away with like metaphors, aka punchlines, in the era where we had already moved past punchlines. It was on the entendres and similes and metaphors. So it's like, why are we giving this nigga so much credit in 08 when that was old
Listen.
shit in 02?
Facts.
Not to bring it back to Kendrick, but a lot of people don't like Kendrick because he doesn't have the punchlines. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't like Andre 3000 because he don't got the punchlines. But there's more to it.
I don't think they don't like them. I think when niggas throw them in that mix, it just makes you have to choose a side.
There you go.
Because it's like, if Kendrick sat right there and spit over this beat and J. Cole spit over this beat, I'm saying Cole smoking him.
Smoking him.
It depends on the beat and what they rapping about.
He's
Because
smoking.
with Kendrick getting
auntie
his
is a man
bag, yeah.
Kendrick
if he said his
correct.
auntie is a man now, that's not the bar we
That's
want.
not a cipher. That's not a cipher for his shit.
That's an Eminem bar.
You know what I'm saying? But when he get on his N95 shit, then we can start getting into some shit. You know what I mean?
M, he just dropped something with Snoop. Maybe we'll talk about it some other time.
Maybe next episode, maybe not. Who knows? Last entry from the from the Rap Roundtable mailbag, we have Casper Pop Culture. He says, let me make sure I read this first. He's talking about our reaction to the Drake album. He says, the thing about it is he can't sing and he's promoting a singing album. Makes no sense. His voice changed over the years. He should do more rap than the auto-tune in this album because it's unbearable. Even his prime, he was pretty decent at hooks when he was singing, but that was about it. A whole song when he's just singing, that's not it. It was really bad, really, really bad. That's what I was paraphrasing because there was no periods, no commas, one long ass paragraph sentence.
So how exactly did you feel about it?
He doesn't like the album. You know what we've heard from the Rap Roundtable? It's rare that we bring the guests into the mailbag. So Ron, Casper says this album isn't good and you can't sing anymore. What do you say to that in response to speaking about the Drake album?
Well, he never was fucking Casey Haley. You know what I'm saying?
That's a whole fact, man.
You know, I mean, Drake has always been Drake. He's given you another version of Drake. You know, last year was the Afro beat. The year before that was the dancehall Drake. You know, next year might be motherfucking
Drake was Southern when he came out.
Drake.
Houston
Drake.
Drake.
You know what I'm saying?
Slow down, Drake.
So I mean, I think I feel like as an artist, you kind of have to, like, Madonna always went left. Kanye went left with Yeezus. You know what I'm saying? I love Yeezus. You know what I'm saying?
Same here. He doesn't love Yeezus, but I love Yeezus.
That's a fucking lie, bro.
We had a whole argument about Yeezus.
I like Yeezus.
You didn't like it when it dropped.
T-Lop that I don't like.
T-Lop?
Life
Pablo.
Sin. I posted on Facebook years ago that Yeezus is fire, and you disagreed.
I remember you didn't like it too.
Thank you.
It took me a while to get around to it, possibly, but I like that.
There's
album.
a few records that have done.
But I think for artists to kind of like, you know,
it's just
kind of have to experiment a bit.
It's just like, coming off of my beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. It was like,
right.
We didn't need
anything beyond that was gonna be.
And Yeezus only got good when Kanye subsequently dropped worse records, bro.
Yeah.
Like, well, let's stop this,
no,
bro.
I like Yeezus when it dropped.
I like
You like Yeezus when it dropped.
Yeezus had some
Most
joints,
didn't. Yeezus had some joints,
Like
but this
4
nigga just
good
came off a
joints.
4-album classic
That's a
run,
fact.
bro. Like,
But
Yeezus
that's-
when it dropped was disappointing. Let's stop it, bro.
That's a fact.
I'm like, but what was this? I'm like, Guilty Trick was fire.
No, but I feel what
Send
you're
it
saying.
up
I
was
liked
fire.
it.
Blood
Just
on the-
coming
It's
off
got
of
worse.
Dark Twisted
That's
Fantasy.
the one that had Black
is
Skinhead and all that crazy shit.
Yeah. But Send It Up was
a
fire.
classic.
808s is fire.
Oh my
That was
liquor.
but that was left field too at the time.
I was fucking
I
with
take
it.
Yeezus
Yeah.
over
From the beginning.
But it was still kind of left field for what he was
Yeah.
doing. You know what I'm saying?
Blood on Leaves.
Yeah, Blood
Fire.
on Leaves, Send It
Come on
Up,
now.
Guilt
Fire.
Trip, Bound to
Bound
You.
to-
Round 2 was
No,
fire.
he got
and
joints on
Pablo
there.
got better over time. In the moment, Pablo, we didn't appreciate it, but it got better over time.
Now, I'm not going to say this Drake album's going to get better over time.
No, it's
not.
not.
I'm not. I'm
gonna
not
get
going to
worse.
say that.
We've reached the
We're
point in
on
that.
site.
I
That was
feel
my
we
shit.
should let artists.
New Slave.
Let it
You know what I'm
breathe.
saying? No, we should let artists
Try some shit.
Experiment.
experiment.
Okay.
a bit.
Absolutely.
And then they could get back to the censor.
Right.
But you have
Can
to
I
that's
say
what-
something?
That's what
the
Scary
backlash,
Hours is going to
so.
be.
That's
The
part of being an
center.
artist.
And just real
That's
quick,
their
get that.
problem. They
Yeah,
don't want to
yeah.
take
what
the
my guy said
backlash.
on the last part of the last part of the mailbag about the vocals being the issue, that's such bullshit, and that's such bail that they keep giving Drake. I never heard a nigga say, yo, the controller vocals were classic Whitney
right?
Houston level. We never liked Drake's vocals, bro. He made good songs before. Shit, Migos hitting.
That's a fact. You slap.
Migos plus the heat in here.
We reached the point of the episode where we brought some company to Cinsere's crib. We got Ron, we got Deme at the
Y'all
crib.
cool.
I mean, some of the flowers got stepped on. You know what I'm saying? But the food was good. The music is blasted. It's not Kendrick this week. It's actually a little bit of drill, a little bit of Kodak Black. Ron is upset. He's actually standing next to Sin, and he's telling everybody else who's playing this Kendrick shit, not Kendrick, Kodak shit, to get the fuck off of the lawn.
Yeah. Number one, y'all still owe Kendrick and his fans in the
No, we don't.
Number two.
No, we don't, bro.
But number two, Kendrick has the highest selling album of the year.
As he should.
It's
Sales
Kendrick
matter
Lamar.
now,
But it was a flop, apparently.
It was.
By
Copy.
comparison of his own shit.
Copy.
Yo, you're being like
Schnobula.
you're a one-man comment section right
Copy. Nah, but today's long segment's got to be aimed at
The fuck are you talking about?
travelers.
now. Yeah, wait,
needed this
wait, can I applaud you?
Yes, and not all
Fuck outta
travelers.
here.
Not all travelers.
What type, Sin?
Just the fucking annoying ones, bro. The annoying travelers that because Jarv spoke about it earlier. You know what I mean? You don't have your passport stamped enough. You got to get more stamps on your passport. Or
The
you ain't been
Rap
to Dubai. Oh, you ain't been to Turks and Caicos. Oh, you got to go to Tulum next time. Bro, shut the fuck up. Yo,
I want problems always.
Such a vibe out there. Listen, the only reason you're even going to these places is not because you're cultured, but because you heard it in a fucking rap lyric. In one of the top 40 songs that you spin over and over and over, and the next thing you know, you're like, oh shit, I should go to Turks and Caicos. Oh shit, I gotta visit Dubai. I heard there's a vibe out there. Shut the fuck up. Like we're good. We fucking travel where we want. Puerto Rico, Mexico. I'm from El Salvador. I go back there every once in a while. You know what I mean? Well, Puerto Rican and El Salvadorian. I go to both places. You know what I mean? I go back.
You just
damn so. I go back and I go back to my roots. I study my roots. I visit family. You know what I mean? Everybody ain't traveling for a vibe, bro. So like, if your only reason, and bringing it back full circle to this Drake album, your only reason for liking this Drake album is because you got passport stamps to fucking Dubai or whatever the fuck, and it's a fucking vibe out there, bro. If that's your only reason for liking it, you got to get the fuck off my lawn. Not everybody travels for the same reasons, bro. Fuck out of here.
So you have to purify yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka to enjoy it.
The fuck off Cinsere's long.
Out of here, man.
We had two very, very special guests. And it's at this point where we need you guys, let us know a little bit about yourself on the back end, your socials, where they could tap in with you, where they could find you, what you got going on. So, Deme, real quick, let them know your socials, what you got going on.
What's good already? It's Deme D, the Go Getter TV, YouTuber, Hip Hop Promotions and Network. Just Google the Go Getter TV. I'm very Googleable, man. All hip hop, all day.
Very good. Google me. Talk about it. Ron, talk about it, my man.
I can't follow that shit.
Ron makes beats. He's on social media. I'm gonna blow you up. Fuck that.
But I lost my IG account because I'm Farrakhan Jr. I'm kind of out of commission right now. You know what I mean?
I gotta hear some of that heat, bro.
I fuck around a bit. The thing is with the beats, man. There might be a conversation here. Where the fuck are the New York artists? I mean, like. I don't know.
It don't have to be. There's a boom bappery nigga in Houston right now who might need a beat.
Listen, like I said earlier, the New York DNA is all throughout the underground, no matter where they're from.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Ron makes beats. He's on social media. Can you give him your backup account?
No, I can't. That's the burn.
Real shit.
You can look at my old shit at Ron Rockwell on Instagram. I'm a simple nigga. I ain't got too much going on right now.
Simple nigga with a lot of opinions. And honestly, I'm gonna say it again. Ron selling it short, but this nigga's tapped the fucking. He's been next to some important niggas. We'll have him back on the Rap Round Table so you can hear some of these stories, because I've heard the stories. Yeah. They're elite. Deme, take us home.
Yo, I'd like to give a shout out to Mailbag, voice of the young people, mouthpiece for hustlers. I'm back, motherfucker. Keeping a surprise, all the young news. My brother Ron, man. I've been hearing about you for a while, good brother. I see where John gets the vibes from.
My man delivered.
Deme, you know, New York Bias 1, 2. We gonna need you here for 3.
If you ask
3P like Nas.
Yo, I want to give a special shout out to my brother Sin and my brother Job, man. We don't get them the props for all the technical shit they do behind the scenes. How these niggas keep the computers putin'. You hear the beats going on in the background. That's all Cinsere. If you a real rapper and you love
Phil
good
Jackson
music,
and Tex Winner.
Tap in. Job, Sin, my guys. Mailbag, shout out to Josh sticking with us to the end. We appreciate you. I am Deme, the balance of the force.
Who's Tex?
And Sin is Tex.
Oh,
yes.
Definitely Phil.
Yo, on behalf of everybody that's here with us, all the listeners, tap that Cash App. We are the Rap Round Table. We out of here.
Cop the hat.
New York in the building. New York in the building. New York in the building.
We put on for y'all. Fuck with us. Deme, Ron, the Rap Round Table. Deme, we out?
We out.
Yes, sir.
The heroes that you need.
Talk about it.
You know?